This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Monday, and you know what that means.
Is it Jeff Goldblum laying half naked, breathing heavily day?
No.
I'd watch that.
Would you watch that?
I would.
I bet you would. It's podcast day. Welcome to season 2, episode 2, Xbox None. My name is Eddie Lyon.
Derek Reese.
Cole Semper.
Nick Lewis.
The whole gang's here, and we're gonna do it.
Neato gang.
Bangarang.
The gang gets on a podcast.
The gang gets on a podcast. Let's start off with the nerd news. Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Creed, has set a Guinness World Record for being the most subscribed to celebrity YouTuber. And that, I think, is way cool for Up, Up, Down, Down. Xavier Woods of the New Day. It's crazy.
New Day?
I didn't know he had a podcast up until just, like, a podcast. He had a YouTube channel up until just recently. And, yeah, like, I checked it out, and it was just him and Ember Moon, like, fucking playing D&D and shit. Like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was cool, and they had their own little, like, DM, and then, like, so whenever they, like, have to roll for something, they'd, like, go off into another room, and there was this giant D20, this giant foam D20.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so
That's dope.
They, like, have to, like, grab it or push it or kick it, and then that would be, like, what they roll.
That is amazing.
it was badass. So congratulations to Austin Creed, a.k.a. Xavier Woods, for setting Guinness World Records.
New Day rocks.
Yeah, they do.
In video game news, there's this new Castlevania-esque game being developed. I'm sure a lot of people already know about it if you're crazy about Castlevania. Director Koji Igarashi is at the helm of a game called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's pretty cool. It's basically just Symphony of the Night, but just different characters, different location. The news about it is that it actually got delayed. It was supposed to come out at the end of the year, which, you know, what it was one of my most hyped games because I'm a huge Castlevania fan. But it got delayed to the kind of mid portion of 2019, and it also got canceled for the Vita version. Rest in peace, the Vita.
Shit.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not super upset about this just because, you know, my Vita had its time, you know, which is really sad because not a lot of people got to love the Vita as much as I did. That thing was so cool.
Yeah, I had a Vita for like a month, and then I had to like sell it for rent. And
Well,
it was like,
and you know, like that's a whole story that I plan on covering because the way that Sony kind of just abandoned that thing when they noticed that shit wasn't going the way it needed to go with it, they kind of just were like, all right, you know, we're going to continue with what we already have planned, but don't expect anything else.
yeah.
I think I sold mine to you, actually.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I still have my Vita. I don't really play Vita games on it. It's more of like a retro console now. Like I'm playing a shitload of PS1 games on it.
Right.
But, you know, it's really not that big of a deal because the Vita version, not a big deal. You know, everyone has got a Switch now. So, and the Switch port is still burning fire.
Still going strong.
So, in Utah news, as important as I'm sure that is to
breathe.
all of us, Jeff Goldblum was today, I believe, just announced to be coming to the Salt Lake Comic-Con. That's fucking right. I called it Comic-Con. Suck a dick, San Diego.
I still think they should have called it San Diego.
Dude, okay.
San Diego Salt Lake Comic Con.
All right, so
That's it. No, that's
let
too
me
much.
let me tell you what I posted this on Comic-Con's page back when the whole thing was blowing up, and I actually got like both of the dudes who created and run the Salt Lake Comic-Con liked my comment, but I was like, you know what? Fuck them. You should just call it Salt Lake San Diego Con. Nothing they can do about that. They can suck a dick.
Hey, yeah.
Salt Lake San Diego Con. Anyway. Question of the week was, what was your favorite Xbox game? We got tons of answers. Shay LaRue from Idaho said that her favorite was Halo, and that was probably the only. Yeah, it's probably like the quintessential Xbox game,
If you own an Xbox, you gotta have Halo.
right? And then there were people that that I guess just only played Xbox, that played these just on the Xbox.
Yeah.
But Riley Giles from Logan said Resident Evil 5.
That's a good port.
Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely, I don't know, I thought that the transition from 4 to 5 was, really good. I loved 5 and how a lot of people didn't like how, action-oriented it was, where the other ones were more horror, but I fucking loved 5.
See, 4 was
and
my
5
favorite
were
one.
great.
4 and 5 were probably my favorite in the series.
6, go fuck yourselves.
We don't talk about 6.
Except for the Leon story in 6, everything else was...
The thing about 5, so interesting enough, 5 besides Monster Hunter, the new Monster Hunter just dethroned it.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil 5 is Capcom's best-selling game of all time.
So let me ask you to fill this in because fill me in. No, so the only Resident Evil that I ever as a kid had the opportunity to play was one on the GameCube, and I don't
0.
know.
Remake.
Probably.
Yeah,
There was Resident Evil 0.
Was it on a train or in a mansion?
it was in a mansion.
Remake.
That was the first one.
Okay,
That
because
is the second best.
Me and my buddy threw that on the GameCube,
Yeah.
and it so we worked at a youth ranch
Okay.
at the time, and the room we were in.
Wrangling up them youths.
Yeah, we blacked out everything.
Yeah.
It was pitch fucking black except for the screen.
Yeah.
And that was the scary. I freaked the fuck out, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Dude, that game, I played that game just a couple of years ago because they re-released it on new-gen consoles. Man, that game is scary.
Yeah, dude.
It is
Yeah.
scary,
It is
man.
so fucking good.
It's crazy because you go to, kind of cringy moments in, 4 and 5. But, I mean, not... Let me rephrase that. 4 is perfect.
Mhm.
There is nothing...
Ashley. Excuse me.
There is nothing wrong with 4.
Nothing. Nothing. I
Absolutely,
agree
that
with you.
game is not only is it going down in history as one of the best games ever made, but with good reason. The game has super tight controls. It has a fantastic story that keeps you engaged, and not only that, it's scary. That game is really scary when you first go into that village and you're going in and you saw. I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw it, I was like, I'm supposed to go into this house.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to
Yeah.
run away from these. No, you don't go in there, man. Don't go in there because that will spawn Dr. Salvador, the crazy chainsaw guy, and yeah, that part scared the bejesus out of me multiple times.
You know what? The most fun for me in that game was the fact that I felt like I had a leg up because they were speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are we getting topical now, or what?
No, it's just because they would warn you when they were behind you.
Mohalalo. Yeah.
But no, literally, he would tell you, "I'm behind you, idiot."
Yeah.
That's what he would tell you. He's like, "Detrás de ti, imbécil."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm just getting flashbacks
You
because
just turn around what?
Yeah. So whenever I hear,
is that really what it is?
Yeah, that's really what they
That's
say.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, he literally
We'll have to
said,
do a playthrough, me
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
And you can translate everything to me because
Yeah.
I've always wondered what they're saying.
Yeah,
If they're just saying stupid gibberish, it's still scary as
No,
shit.
I googled and somebody on the internet had a whole list of everything that they would say and
Yeah.
translated to.
Yeah, and so they would literally they'd literally tell you when they were behind you.
What was
Yeah.
it when they said morir es vivir?
Yeah. To live is to die.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my
Or to
god,
die
it's
is to
a
live.
whole nother layer
I know,
of
I
coolness
know.
to this game, man. But the thing is about 5, man, is that everyone hated on that game because it was more action, but it was still scary in my opinion. I
Yeah.
remember when the demo came out for that game, and I was like, yeah, they're going in a different direction, but it's not
the free
bad.
co-op demo on PS3.
Yeah, dude, that thing
I
was so
all
cool.
about that.
The only bad part of that game is that horribly cringy moment at the end when you're killing Wesker, the mutated version of Wesker, and you got to run down. You're in a freaking active volcano.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
this is
yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
you got to go down, and then there's this moment where he's just mega punching this boulder, and I'm like, that doesn't happen in real life, and. I don't know, and the kind of cringy amounts of muscle bulge
Yes,
on
but
Chris.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
like, this is not a normal person. Like, I don't know. And Sheva was kind of weak, in my opinion, but it's just because I have, like, this unbridled love for Ashley. I never found her to be grating. I always was like, all right, you know.
You never thought she was annoying?
Not really.
Leon!
Well, yeah, like, there's parts to it because that's her character.
It was
like,
mostly
she's
her
supposed
voice.
to be...
Like, her in the game dynamic I thought was really cool, but...
Yeah, like, she's supposed to be annoying, man. She's like this, you know, spoon up her ass, you know, kind of president's daughter who's had literally everything handed to her. Like, she's supposed to be annoying. And, you know, thank God she got wrangled up with Leon.
You son of a bitch!
That's my alarm to wake up and go to work. Yeah, it's...
That's your end rant alarm.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Was that a rant?
No.
No.
It's like the thing at the Oscars where it's like if you talk too much, they're like,
It's over. We're
Slap me if I'm going too far into things.
So,
But,
however,
Love that game.
I did come across some other news
Okay.
about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's right.
Right. So, they've been pretty stalwart about their decision to not rehire Gunn.
Tumultuous times at Disney Studios.
And apparently, at this point now, it's on hold. Guardians
Indefinitely.
of Galaxy is indefinitely on hold until they figure out what to do. So
Who do you want to direct this movie?
Terrible news.
James Gunn.
Yeah, I want James Gunn.
Well,
At this point, it won't matter who comes in to write or direct it.
Yep.
It's not going to be the same thing.
No.
the tone's going to be all messed
and
up.
it even I even saw that we don't even know if his script is going to stay intact.
It won't.
I think
like-
didn't they say that the script, they're using the script?
Are they really?
I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that
They better,
using the
Yeah,
I
and I mean,
mean-
I just read that
Let me Google it.
I just read that we are quote unquote unsure if they're going to use it.
So Chris Pratt and the guy that plays the one.
The one guy that was Drax. Drax.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
Bautista.
that guy. They both said they will not
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the movie unless it's James Gunn's script.
Right.
Oh wow.
and you can't get rid of those two. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, you could maybe get away with removing.
Drax.
Yeah, but there's no way in hell you're getting rid of Pratt.
Dude, Drax was my
No
favorite
way.
part about two action.
And then see, and that's my concern is that like if they come back and they bring an all new writer, make an all new script, have somebody else direct it, it's just going to be all of there's going to be recycled joke tones from the last couple movies,
Right.
and it's just going to be dry as shit, and nobody's. At this point, just keep them for Infinity War Part 2 and then just scrap Guardians 3 altogether.
So take this with a grain of salt, but Collider.com says that yes, they reportedly plan on using James Gunn's script. So I'm not seeing anything else. I mean, like, I'm not seeing like Screen Rant or fucking CNN saying, so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not seeing anything about that. That's actually one thing I kind of plan to not necessarily use you guys for, but I want you to broaden my horizons. I am not a superhero fan at all. I'm not. Like,
Loser.
yeah, I know. I mean, like really, truly, in this day and age, like, yeah, it's not the cool thing to do to
Right?
not like
Which is
these
so
movies. Like,
weird.
it's not, and the thing is like, I know how these movies go. I know how they are, and I'm like, okay, just tell me what happens. And like, I'm totally okay. But
and that's the
see,
thing.
like, if you get like Star Wars involved, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm there day one.
Well,
like,
because I think the difference is that like these are characters that we grew up with.
Yeah, of
are
course.
fully invested in.
that's how I am
know
with
what I
Batman.
mean? Yeah.
I'm
And,
as you would say,
Yeah.
I'm a huge Batman mark. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing is like these are all characters we already knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're stories we already know. It's not like there's stuff going on that we don't have like a 90% accuracy in going, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like,
So,
it's still amazing and wonderful and like life affirming.
It's just like to see everything come to life.
Yeah.
Everything.
Of course. Yeah. I see that being a huge
So
thing.
like
It's
that's all it is. So
Yeah.
like it's really just
Like, because we all know how these movies are going to go too. Like we already know. Like the formula is there, and the formula has been there since Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like they all have the same. They all have the same formula. They all go the same way.
So did you know what happened at the end of Infinity War?
Yeah.
So why was that such a bombshell for everyone?
Well, the bombshell wasn't what happened, but
How
who
it happened?
who it happened to.
They changed the characters
Well,
that it happened to?
Well, not really. Like, because during the Infinity War,
Yeah.
well, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
Just go into this knowing I have no idea
Yeah.
about anything. Like, I am completely ignorant to this.
like, I mean, basically for your standard moviegoer, you knew something bad was going to happen.
Yeah.
Probably to a character you loved, but you had no idea which one.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was just... It's not like finding out was some sort of, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Felt
exhale
much.
of, oh, okay, well, that's what happened. It was still, like, really traumatic. You know?
And
Yeah.
see, and so the end credits,
Okay.
where Thanos is sitting
Yeah.
in a field, coming out of this little makeshift shack, and he sits there and he just sigh of relief.
He's happy with himself.
It's what's supposed to happen. Like that's how that goes. That's why it was such a, because nobody thought it was going to be that.
And that's kind of the whole thing, is like why I don't make fun of these movies, or why I don't like say like, oh, they're just shitty stuff. You know, like they're shitty movies. It's like, no, I can't say that.
Yeah.
Like I can't say that, because not only do I not know why these characters are so beloved, because obviously you guys, like, I see your house, like your house is adorned with all this shit. It's like, and it's like you walk into my house, it's the same thing, just with different things.
Yeah. Right.
Like you'll see Mega Man and Final Fantasy and all these shit in my house,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I can't on good authority say like these movies are bad, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
Dude,
because
Thanos was the first like jumbo pop that I ever bought. That
Yeah.
one time
No
I went to
kidding.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. See, like, my...
And shout out to Thanos, because that guy is scary.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I can look at him like, you know, with my, you know, goggles on and say that guy is scary.
I think
man.
Josh
Like,
Brolin killed it.
the
Josh Brolin is awesome.
And that's what the scary thing about him is that, like, the way he talks and conducts himself is not, you know, some fanatical, crazy person. It's, well,
Which
this is what needs to happen.
It's so refreshing,
You know,
like, to have someone that's
like,
not, like, maniacal.
Yeah,
or off
it's
their
basically
rocker.
him going, well, shit's fucked up. Gotta fix it somehow.
Another thing, speaking
You know?
of Thanos,
Well, and, like, he's so set in stone with his beliefs.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
like, my word is law. That's what's cool about that character.
I saw this video where I think Josh Brolin was on Conan or one of the other talk shows, and I think it was Jimmy Fallon actually, and he had Thanos in Thanos' voice read Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
And it was the greatest thing ever,
Yeah,
because it was actually like it was coming from Thanos.
Yeah.
Did you see when they had Andy Serkis do
Oh, yeah.
Gollum
Yeah.
reading the tweets?
That was
It
amazing.
was fucking incredible.
It was crazy. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get more.
That's
into
what
that.
I want. I want that to be. I want you guys to be my opening per se. It's just to, like, get in there and show me why I should give a shit about these movies.
I
Like,
can show you.
please do.
And if you guys want to know more, go to watch our episode Infinity Spoilers.
Great episode,
yeah.
by the way. I cared very little about that movie until I listened to your podcast, and I was like, this might be a movie that I want.
Well, and one thing that if you would be into it, that I would want to do, and I think it would be really cool for all of us to do this, because I want to go back and reread it. But I want to have everybody kind of go through and read one of the Marvel, like, universal events called Secret Invasion. And 'cause it was so incredible, and that's one story that I absolutely want to see come to life.
Okay.
Fucking
And
amazing.
now that Marvel's acquired some of Fox's properties, it can happen.
Exactly, because they can use the scrolls now.
Yeah.
They can.
Mhm.
So I really
Mickey Mouse
hope
is the
that
new
happens.
Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah. Monopoly.
It's
Well,
insane, dude.
you
It's
seen that
insane
picture?
how much they
Kinda-
Where
own.
it's Mickey Mouse holding the gauntlet, and it
Yeah.
has like
Yeah.
The stone
like
is
Star
Fox.
Wars and Fox and
Well,
Marvel.
it kind of reminds me of, like, the Mickey Mouse from South Park.
Yeah.
Little pieces of shit. Little pieces of shit.
Put on that goddamn ring.
But yeah,
episode is so good.
we'll definitely get into that. Some more people that answered the question. BioShock Infinite from Kyrie Brown. Knights of the Old
Fantastic
Republic from Jason Marshall. Rory Costello, Sega GT. Laura Morales, Fallout 4. Adrian Diaz, Call of Duty World War II. Zach Thornley with Fable. Fable
is a tent pole for Xbox. Like they're really, that's a really important IP for them. It's too bad they're really kind of shit in the bed with it.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lionhead.
Yeah, no kidding.
A buddy of
Molyneux.
mine whose name I still don't know for real,
Yeah.
but this is his name on Facebook. His name is Yakusei Kedamono, and he said Jade Empire.
Oh.
Jade Empire was really cool. Yeah.
So
Who's the guy that was? What was the guy's name who said Blue Dragon? I was really proud of that guy.
Oh yeah.
Blue Dragon is one of the coolest freaking games that have ever come out because. So, little history lesson for you here. So, the game was directed by Hironobu the Gooch Sakaguchi. He's basically the father. The Gooch. You'll
The
hear me
Gooch.
talk about the Gooch a lot.
I
'cause
wonder if that has the same meaning over there. Is it
I don't know.
basically?
I don't know. But he's basically the father of Final Fantasy. He made Final Fantasy. So Xbox, keep this in mind. Xbox got him. They paid him a lot of money to come in here. Not only that, they got Akira fucking Toriyama for Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And they made this like super cool, and like the last time something like this happened was Chrono Trigger. And Chrono Trigger is like one of the greatest games ever made. I won't go that far to say that Blue Dragon's one of the, it's not. Like it's a great game, but that game's really cool. I don't know how well it holds up today, but just knowing that like Xbox really tries hard, and I'll get into it later.
You know, I
but-
actually, when I had my 360, I rented that game on a whim, just because of like the art style, and I was like, oh, I was kind of like delving into JRPGs at the time, and I was like, this looks good, and I played through all of it in like 3 days, and I was like, this game was so amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and you know, Akira Toriyama's work in anything, like, it's gonna be good.
That's what I've noticed. Yeah, and that's what I noticed when, you know, we did the Dragon Ball episode. Don't forget to go check out Dragon Ball Z episode.
Also follow me on twitch.tv/DejaNintendo.
Yeah. Let's just start plugging shit.
Follow me in Walmart.
I don't have a Twitter handle.
But yeah, I've noticed that Akira Toriyama, like, it's crazy. Like
He's everywhere.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until I had started doing research on Dragon Ball and stuff. And see, as you want us to be your Sherpas into the superhero world, I'm expecting you to be my anime Sherpa.
Absolutely. My girlfriend, it would be very mad if I didn't include her in this.
Absolutely, absolutely. The voice you heard in the back is another nerd queen supreme. Goes by the name of Angela. She is Cole's wifey.
That's not really her name. That's just what she goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on to the topic at hand after a half hour. Xbox done. So, we're going to give the helm to Cole because Cole has most of the notes on this. So, take it away.
So, I did do a lot of research for this episode, and I found out a lot of really cool shit. But I feel like that would be best suited for an Xbox-centric episode. This, I kind of just want to talk about... I really want to talk about this with people, not only people who have owned multiple Xbox Ones, but people who haven't. And I want to get your input on, like, what can this company do to get you guys? You know, like, what would it take for you guys to buy an Xbox? You know? But the thing is I get a lot of research, like I even got the guys' names of like who made it and like,
oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I got a ton of notes, but really I just want to talk about the Xbox One and why it disappointed me and get some input. Maybe I'm just a douche and I don't like this console for some arbitrary reason. But the main thing is I want to know your past, your experiences with the Xbox, and then I want to know if you guys have any at all. So, what can you tell me about Xbox One? What do you feel?
I feel like they I don't know, when I first got the Xbox One, it was like I liked it. I really cannot get enough of their controller. Like,
best controller, hands
best
down.
controller ever. I mean, next to GameCube.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves because I wholeheartedly believe that the Switch Pro controller is the best controller on the market. Like, that thing is so rad, dude.
Yeah, I remember playing with your Pro Controller, and I was like, I need to get one of these.
They're just incredibly expensive. It's like, there's no reason why this thing should be
I feel
$80.
like I feel like Xbox was thinking they could cater more towards the whole entertainment as a one platform. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I'm not trying to check my emails while I'm playing Halo. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to do that shit. Like, I feel like they just went more towards that.
They were worried so much about whether they could.
Not
Easier
if
to
they
go
should.
But like, I feel like they tried to go more towards that whole aspect, and not just like, I mean, it was obviously a gaming system, but they were just kind of like, well, yeah, now you can Skype people while you're playing Xbox. I'm like,
I have no need for
why?
that. Yeah,
Like,
and
I'm talking to him right now. Like, I don't need to see what they look like.
yeah.
I'm looking at the game that I'm playing, not the fate. You know, that's so counterproductive. Like
I agree. Like, and see, I owned a few Xbox consoles. Like my uncle had an Xbox, an original Xbox. I had 2 Xbox 360s, and
only 2.
Yeah,
Consider yourself lucky.
well, no, like I bought one, and then I sold it for rent, and then I bought another one, and then I sold it for rent. But like
The Xbox is the first thing to go all
Yes.
the time.
absolutely.
It's true.
Fuck yeah,
it's
dude.
true.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
and that's
God.
the thing, and that was the thing for me because I've always had a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I had a PlayStation 1, 2,
Always.
3,
Always.
always. And whenever it came time to sell shit to make ends meet, it was always the Xbox.
The box goes.
Like no,
The
not
first-
even a question.
The first PlayStation, this is funny because the first like PSX that I ever bought, you know, the gray original one, was I bought it from Fun Unlimited like way back in the day. Like I got it for a birthday or something.
Yeah.
And my parents bought me a couple games with it. There was like fucking Braveheart and Casper. And I was just like, all right. And,
The like difference
and
between
in order
the two.
to like at some points when I was playing it,
Casper.
or no, not Braveheart, Dragonheart.
Oh, okay, okay.
Even then, though, like
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
from
yeah.
like Dragonheart to fucking Casper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like at some points when I'd be playing it, it got to the point where I had to turn it upside down for it to keep working and like reading the disc.
Wait a minute. What is this?
The original PlayStation.
Get out. Are you
I
serious?
bought it from Fun Unlimited. It was like $100.
Oh my god.
No
And
kidding.
That
This
is
is when
classic.
I was probably like 8 or 9. But like, yeah, that was the thing. It was to turn it up on its top, and it would
I
keep
wonder
going.
if that meant that your disc reader was going out or something.
Probably.
I think it means you're a wizard.
Yeah.
Like,
That's exactly.
Oh,
what I thought.
the first PlayStation.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
That's a whole episode by itself.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know, like, to me, Xbox exclusives minus maybe Halo weren't ever eye-catching to me. Like, I never got into Gears. I never got into Forza. I never, you know what I mean? Like, I was never...
We're gonna pop his cherry.
Yeah, as I'm saying that I'm not into Gears, Nick and Cole give each other these looks like they're going to kiss each other. And like,
that's what I was just gonna say. I was gonna interject and be like, they're gonna make out.
yeah, they're going to kiss. But yeah, no, like...
You haven't played Gears.
Yeah, I haven't played Gears, and I'm not, and I'd never like make fun of them or anything.
No, of course.
But like, I never got into it. They never, I guess, enticed me enough to want one. You know what I mean? Like,
I will say that there's 3 video games that I've played in my life that have made me like bawl hysterically during, and Gears 3 is one of them.
Really?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Gears 3, Last of Us,
Last of Us.
and
I
Metal Gear Solid 3.
knew Last
you-
of Us was good. Like Last of Us, I bawled like a little bitch.
yeah, me too.
you being a father,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Well,
the
yeah,
thing is,
because-
man, is like
yeah.
if you can make it through the first 30 minutes of The Last of Us and not cry, there's something wrong
Yeah.
with you.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
emotionally.
You're a
know,
sociopath.
Like,
That's
like I know what it's like to not be able to have
yeah.
time with my child,
Yeah.
and like for that to happen in the game, but you know, on a permanent death level, like fuck me up.
Hey.
Dude,
No-
if
no
nobody's
spoilers.
played the original
No
Last of
spoilers.
Us,
No, this
fuck
game.
you.
This is full
Yeah,
spoilers.
if
this,
you
this is full of
full
spoilers.
spoilers. Okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't played The Last of Us, you're a piece of shit. Like not
Fuck you.
really.
Spoiler alert.
Not,
That's the spoiler.
I rescind my last statement. You're
Can't
not a
remember
piece
the
of
last
shit,
time I
but
peeked.
you really
You're just.
you really need to play that game.
What kind of life is that?
And at this point, you have like nothing stopping you. Literally, if you've got a PS4,
You know what?
Like, it's
The
on
game
the
is
system.
like $7 on
Yeah.
every
Hit me up.
odd day of the week.
Hit
Like
me up. You can borrow it.
Yeah.
I have bought that game for so many people. It's insane. Like
Yeah.
I remember I bought it for JP,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Dude, I don't know how I never played this." And I was like, of course I have no problem with that because it's in the discount bin
Yeah.
everywhere you go. And I'm like, and it hurts me to see that and see Call of Duty from frickin' 5 years ago. It's still
Still-
$60,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
why, man? Like, I mean, like, there's nothing we can do about that, obviously. But that game is so emotionally wrecking.
Yeah, it really
Not
is.
only in the first couple minutes, but in the entirety of it.
Throughout.
Oh yeah.
Like, when you go up, man, and it, like, stealth is king in that game, obviously. Like, if you can sneak past or, stealthily take out people, like, that's the way to go, because if you don't, you will get hurt really bad. Especially, I just barely platinumed that game, which was...
Save for the part where you're in the basement and you have to turn on the generator and just fucking hold out while they all come at you.
I always thought that you have to sit there and kill all of them. You don't have to. You don't have to. As long as you have that key card, you start that generator, you can sprint right up there. You can turn that shit on because there's a frickin' bloater right there. The big guy that like rips
Right,
your
right.
mouth open.
Yeah.
He's right there. So if you get caught with him, especially on like grounded mode, changes a man.
Wow.
Grounded mode on The Last of Us changes a man. That shit is so hard.
And here I am, like,
it's so
having trouble
brutal.
playing Resident Evil 7 on Madhouse mode. Like,
Well, you're a trooper by yourself
That
on
shit
that
is
because
intense.
that is I can't. That game is hard enough by itself on
I
normal mode.
recently just beat Marguerite on Madhouse mode, and like, there's literally no other way to do it. Well, you could do it if you're really good, but the best way to do it is you have to go through on easy,
Yeah.
beat the game in under 3 hours, and get the saw, the circular saw,
Yeah.
and you just fucking go to town on her.
That's ridiculous.
That game, like, again, that's a whole nother episode just talking about that game
Yeah.
and how wonderful it is. And
The whole Resident Evil series could be a whole episode.
yeah. So everyone here has played The Last of Us, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me one game on Xbox that is as good as The Last of Us.
I can't.
Half. I'll make it easier. Half as good as The Last of Us.
Shrug.
Nick, you're more equipped to answer this question.
You really are.
'cause he has a bigger
one
penis.
that's like exclusive, or just
Yeah.
it's on Xbox.
that you can only find on Xbox. Ruling out Gears of War.
Half
Gears
is-
of War
half
2
is good?
Half
Maybe-
half is good.
Fuck, dude, I don't know. Fable 2, maybe.
No.
I'm
No
just
way.
trying to think. Like, that's the
Yeah.
only exclusive that comes to mind on Xbox. that-
I mean, that's the thing though is that Sony has not only Sony has a trump card, literally. Like, they have Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
They have Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog, and Rockstar are really the only like people out there that like get games. Like, they understand what makes shit fun, what makes shit impactful, and what makes shit replayable, and like, and they
Go
make
so
shit
far
that
as to also
sells.
say Rocksteady, maybe the Batman games.
They're good, but would it be too much to say that they're too niche?
I don't know.
Like, only unless you're like a super hardcore Batman fan. Because I played them. I'm a massive Batman fan.
yeah,
And they didn't really catch me. That could just be me, though. Like, they are awesome games for sure, but they
Did
never.
you play Arkham Knight? Has anyone played Arkham Knight?
Yeah,
yeah,
The dude, that fucking twist at the end. That like.
Are we going full spoilers
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the Joker? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about how you finally defeat the Arkham Knight, unmasks himself, and it's Jason Todd.
Yeah.
and he's not.
Now
dead.
remind me, Jason Todd
Original
is
Robin.
okay.
And he's
Okay,
not
that
dead,
makes-
he's the
that's
Arkham
cool.
Knight.
Well, yeah. No, well, he's not the original.
Not-
It's
okay,
Dick
not
Grayson's,
original.
but he's
Yeah.
one of the Robins. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
He's the Robin that turns into the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm like trying to place my Robins. I'm like, who's which one's which?
So that's kind of where it comes down to me is what am I gonna, if I buy your $500 console, which is still a mistake in my eyes, like, are you kidding? You didn't learn from the original Xbox One. You didn't learn from, the PS3, which the PS3, $600 when it came out.
Yeah.
600. The executives said, everyone was like, how in the hell are we going to afford this? And the executives come out and said, you'll get another job.
I got a used one.
That is a direct quote from a Sony executive.
That's
I got
amazing.
a used one for my birthday from Hastings, and it was still like $400.
Yeah.
And at the time, the PS3 was not worth owning.
No.
At that time, it was like,
No, it
I
wasn't.
can't wait to have anybody who knows what I'm talking about. They can remember the epic, awesome. I'm totally gonna buy this on day one crab fight.
Yeah.
It's like Sony has made mistakes. That's the thing, though. Is like you've made mistakes and you can come back, and that's another thing I'm gonna get into with Xbox is that they're slowly starting to come back. They slowly start to know like what the hell they're doing wrong and how they fix it. But the thing is like I can't help but scoff every time I get on Facebook and there's a new freaking Xbox controller color.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't wait to buy this shit and not play any freaking games with it.
So here's my thing about Xbox and why I've never in my life given two shits
Okay.
to own one or be even given one, like, because then I'd have to buy games for it. But like, so and granted, I know
Yourself
that
a bundle.
I know I know that this is more my perception than it is the reality, but I feel this is like a really generally held view, is that Xbox is all about battle royale PvP games. Like that's it. That's it. That's all it's about in my view.
And
And
so
that's
while
not
Sony
what-
focuses on more like single player
and that's
compelling
not,
stories.
And I know a lot of people are into that, but that's not what I'm into. So I never ever have given a shit about Xbox. And I think that's like I don't think I'm alone in that.
They've
definitely you're not.
They've definitely got the leg up in that area because they have Fortnite, which is on everything.
Yeah.
But they got fucking PUBG on the
Me and you are going to go the rounds on Fortnite versus PUBG. That's going to be an episode 2. Me and you are just going to duke it out and just be like, you know what? You're a real piece of shit for liking Fortnite, okay?
Yeah, you do your little dances while you're waiting for the game to start.
I will definitely
I'll be throwing apples.
Oh Jesus! But yeah, that is also another thing that doesn't. Whereas, and see, and I feel like I'm fairly even when it comes to games. Like I love the competitive PvP aspect, but I also love story. I also really want.
You gotta
something.
have a reason. You gotta have a certain amount of interest in what's going on, and that's why I love Gears of War so much. Is because they gave me a story to give a shit about.
That's another thing that usually like Call of Duty's past until up until maybe after Black Ops 3. Like I would buy a Call of Duty, I would go home, install it, and then I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna chug through 2 hours of the story mode, and I'm gonna hop into multiplayer. And this new one that's coming out, you're not even gonna have that option.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump into this battle royale thing.
The thing about Call of Duty is that it has steady been declining.
Yeah.
Every year. They're still the number one selling game of every year. But
Absolutely.
the thing is that, and people are taking notice of how much they're dropping in terms of sales and stuff. They go from 30 million units, 30 million titles a year to what was it, 23? It's bad, man.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is a dying breed. You will not see Call of Duty in the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You will see Fortnite 23 at that point. And the thing is about Fortnite is, and yeah, it's great on Xbox. But the thing is you can play it on your phone. Why would I play it on my Xbox? I can play it on my Switch anywhere.
The only thing that I'm waiting for Fortnite to do, I'll play it with some people on PC. I'll stream it because I know that's what everybody's watching. But I just want that Save the World to go free. I don't want to pay money for that shit.
Why can't I play that?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it'll be free in 2018. I'm like, Yeah, we're almost done with 2018. Like,
So yeah, can you just
cough it
give
up.
that to me now? Like,
cough it up,
yeah,
Epic.
I'm not. I'm
if you're listening, let's cough it up.
Let's yeah.
Epic.
Especially,
What are you doing?
Especially because it's like $60, dude. Like, it's just like you give me a free game that I can play, and then you want me to pay $60. It was like the Dead or Alive games that came out not too long ago. I remember playing Dead or Alive on the Xbox. I think.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive.
They were popular on the Xbox.
Yeah, I remember playing Dead or Alive on the Xbox and seeing it on PS4. I'm like, hell yeah, and it's free. Fuck yeah, let's do this. And they're like, here, pay $60 for everybody. Fuck no, I'll just go back and play it on the Xbox. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm waiting for that Save the World thing myself.
Because
So-
it looks legitimately good.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
So I'll hit you with a little bit of history. The original Xbox was revealed in 2000, and they later released it in the wild, around, I think it was November 15th, 2001. And that's crazy because that's 3 days before the GameCube hit Northern Shores. So yeah, they were, Xbox really is kind of this huge success story about how Western game developers and console makers came in a hugely Japan-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
And that is something that you cannot scoff at, because that's incredibly hard to do.
It really
to take
is.
on Zelda and Mario and Tekken and Street Fighter, all these games that are huge. They're huge. Remember the Duke? The Duke controller? The laughing stock of the controller world?
Never liked it.
It took them about 3 months, and then they redesigned it.
The when you turn the Xbox on with the Duke, though, like that screen that you get, that little
Yeah.
the
new one?
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's... The Duke today is really cool, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of
And
gimmicky
it's
at this
still
point.
fucking massive.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
get that
make
it's like
any
a
sense.
niche where if you need a controller that big, but
I took a massive Duke the other day.
yeah,
It was really impressive.
was it an Xbox?
Lead it
Duke?
to all the jokes that you could make about this controller. I'm sure it was a Duke-sized shit, too. I'm really sure it was. The thing is that, Microsoft went out of the 360 PS3 Wii era the champion. They won.
Absolutely.
It was... By the year 2016, the Xbox 360 had sold 84 million consoles. That's huge. Barely outselling the primary opponent, Sony's PS3 by a mere 200,000 consoles. Now, that could be almost placed as a success story for Sony, because Sony had awful sales when they first came out, and they brought it back. And guess how they brought it back? Games. Games people wanted to care about. Games that were fun and enticing. Uncharted and all these super rad games that came out. And it's like, yeah, you know what? I can't play those games on an Xbox.
Dude, I feel like we're gonna have to have our own podcast to talk about all the stuff we won't get to on here.
Yeah. So what eventually happened? So when the Xbox One got revealed, there were 4 things. There were 4 nails in its coffin, basically. The Xbox One would require a persistent online connection.
Ugh.
Big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. Turned a ton of people off immediately. The Xbox One wouldn't play used games.
Oh.
You put the disc in, install it, the console's
I
hard drive,
remember that.
take
I
the disc
remember
out,
that.
it would be completely ineffective.
Do you remember the jab that Sony took at him with their commercial?
Thanks.
Yeah. Here's how you play a used game
I'll have
on
to pull
Sony.
that up for you because it's sour, dude. It hurt. Every Xbox One would come with a Kinect motion sensor. Tell me how many games you played with a Kinect.
Like 2.
Tell me 3 games for the Kinect. And you can't say Star Wars.
Just Dance.
There's one.
Connectionals. That's on 360,
There's 2.
though.
And then like that one that came with it, like the one
The
where
one
you-
that you could jump on the raft going down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh shit, I remember that!
Yeah, really compelling video games, guys.
Never, in the life of my Xbox having, I never even had a Kinect. At
We did.
all.
I hated it. I hated every frickin' moment of it. Is it still in our?
Well, see,
It's still in our closet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
The
remember-
only thing that we continuously used it for was to turn on and off the Xbox.
Because it had a speaker in it. You could turn your Xbox on.
To while we were watching Netflix, and it would go to the "Are you still there?" You would have to say Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Continue watching.
You could do
And then
that.
and then it wouldn't hear it, And so you'd say it 3 times, and in that time span, you could have just turned on your Xbox controller
Yeah.
and hit the yes button.
Gone out and got a snack.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of this little story. I don't know if you remember hearing about it, but when they were introducing the Xbox One and all that, they had oh God, what's his name? Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Uncle Jesse.
Aaron Paul. He was doing a commercial for it, and he was showing off the Kinect or whatever, and he would go, Xbox, turn on, and it was turning on people's Xboxes
Yeah.
on the commercial.
What's the Echo, or the what the hell? What it wasn't
Alexa?
the Echo. Yeah, Alexa, and it's like, Alexa, order. Oh, I'm not even gonna do that because it
It'll
could,
fuck people up.
you know, like order 5,000 diapers at once. Like that shit's bad, dude. I hated the Kinect. I hated every
Alexa,
minute of it.
order a
It
PlayStation
never
4.
worked. It never worked the way it should have, and it's just a big old pain. Like, and it's ugly sitting on top of your TV, and it never worked. It never worked for me. I don't know. Like, there could be a Kinect purist out there. It's like, oh my god, well, you didn't do it like this, and you didn't, you know, like. But at the same time, I'm like, if I have to go through this, like, if I have to jump through 15 hoops just to get your shitty $150 camera.
Yeah. No, thank you.
$150.
I'd have gone and
If
bought
you would,
a
and that-
Canon
yeah.
with that.
And for the Xbox One S, the model that we own, you had to buy an adapter for
Yeah,
it.
they did. They killed it.
You know how
man.
much the webcam is that I'm going to get maybe tomorrow? It's a Logitech 1080p, $45.
$45.
Goodness gracious.
And the Kinect was a piece of shit as
got
far as
ours
the camera
used for
was concerned.
Yeah, we got ours used. No. There's a story behind that. I bought you Just Dance for Christmas. You remember this? And I remember thinking, it had it on the box. It was like, if you buy the app, then you can play this game just with the app on your phone. Like,
The
you can
app
dance with the
never
phone.
worked.
Okay,
And
so-
It never worked.
So, by the way, so this is another. God, did I say this earlier on the cast, or was it before we started? Anyway, another thing about Xbox that totally pushed me away from it is
Okay.
that every fucking person I knew that played Xbox like religiously was a complete and total douchebag.
It's true.
Always.
Yeah.
And that's
I
the
mean,
only
yeah.
time that I ever played Kinect was because my a guy.
you gotta check this shit out, bro.
Well, no,
it's so cool.
A guy who I was like, it was basically an in-law type situation, and so we would go and do stuff with this other couple all the time because they were related and stuff, and
Yeah.
and he was a fucking Xbox mark, and he was a piece of shit. But anyway,
Like there are
so
people like
we
that.
we would play Kinect, and it was actually kind of fun just for the novelty of it, I guess. But that's it.
That's what it is.
That
though,
was
is
it.
It's a novelty.
I
Yeah.
remember when they used
Look, I
the-
jumped
the
and he
Xbox
jumped.
Kinect.
Oh!
in
Funny how that
one of
works.
the I can't remember which one, but it was one of the Paranormal Activity movies where they had the lights off and the Xbox Kinect
That was a
still on.
huge gimmick.
And then you could see the outline of the person like sitting on the couch.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Well,
But
no, I just like how
tell
they
me, like, raise a
incorporated that.
hands who knew that was a Kinect.
Yeah.
What? I don't know what you.
Like, you do now.
Activity.
I kind of was. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening for a second.
Oh, it's all right. But it's just
Son
like,
of a bitch.
I was a little distracted.
I don't know,
and that
man.
was
Like
really loud.
These headphones that I've got on, I couldn't hear anything.
the 360 killed it. They really did. Like, they killed it. They went in there, and the primary focus, I feel like, is Xbox Live. Because Xbox Live to this day is still miles upon miles better than anything PlayStation's put out. Hands down. Xbox is clean.
Mm-hmm.
It works. There's incredibly tight security around the clock. Sony can't say that.
Nope.
They might be able to say that right now, but one of these days I'll talk about the infamous outage for PSN.
Yeah.
That shit was bad.
Yeah, I remember.
Xbox
So
just
bad that they
recently
had
one.
honorable Japanese members on stage bowing for forgiveness. Like, that shit was huge, man. And like, the thing is like, yeah, Gears of War was huge. Gears of War was one of the, obviously one of the top games, right? And Halo, it was Halo 3, 4,
360.
yeah, ODST, and then Reach. Those were all of the Halo games on. Every one of those were huge.
Yeah.
Every one of those were gigantic.
They really were.
I loved ODST. honestly.
ODST was rad, dude. ODST introduced it's Fireteam? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The
And
like
they
round
had
by
the-
round.
That was the one where you played as
It was popular when zombies.
you
was
played as the other
big
team
thing.
that you weren't playing as Master Chief, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were ODST soldiers.
Yeah, okay.
The
That-
original one that came with ODST was just you were playing as them. But the thing is, like, you're not Master Chief. You're playing
Yeah.
as a human with, you know,
and
no shield,
I loved
no nothing.
that story.
So
Like,
what
that
is-
story
what
was
is-
cool.
What does the ODST stand for?
Orbital Drop Shock Trooper. I'm surprised I knew that shit. It's been
That
so,
shit was like organic. Dude.
yeah,
Like, it just
it's
came-
been so long.
Orbital drop shock trooper.
Well,
Just
if I do the
sat
same
up
thing
with
if
the
anybody
Manchurian
asks what
Candidate.
TARDIS means.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
It just goes to show how big of a fan I am of Halo
Yeah.
and of Gears. Like,
But it's-
I love these games.
it's kind of interesting to me that, like, because Odious is also the word odious.
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of, I wonder if that was
I'm sure
intentional.
Bungie is incredibly. They're such a cool
Yeah.
company.
Okay.
Which is really sad because they're really kind of with Destiny. Like,
I don't know. I've been grinding on Destiny 2.
Yeah, dude, Destiny 2's actually had my attention. The first Destiny I didn't really care much for, but Destiny 2 I'm actually a lot more...
Destiny
Are you
2 they
grinding on
made.
that Solstice armor?
I'm trying to, yeah.
I haven't tried any of the new stuff. I only have opinions on the base game.
Yeah.
And the base game was cool while it lasted. You know, I had that one solar handgun.
Yeah.
Just killed everything, and I was like, okay, guess that's the game.
Dude, the last time I played the game, I haven't picked the game up in about a month or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What are you even doing here?
I haven't picked the game up in...
I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, and on my last playthrough, I got the Rat King.
Oh, you got the rat?
Yeah, I got
No
the
kidding.
son of a
Isn't that
bitch.
the
It's like
what
the
is-
hardest one to get.
Is it a submachine gun or is
No,
it a
it's
pistol?
a
it's a-
pistol.
yeah,
you
it's a
have
pistol.
I
to.
remember the
You
Rat
have
King.
to like do one of the Nightfall strikes in like under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And so I got the Rat King, and it's just like, the cool thing about that gun is just like the more people that have it with you, the
Yeah.
stronger your
Yeah.
gun becomes.
Yeah.
And I'm just that was fucking cool to me. Like
See,
it,
but right now they've got this it's this event that's only going for like 3 more days, so I'm trying to get on it. But it's called like the Solstice of Heroes, and you get a set of armor from like you get your head, chest, legs, and your cape, and then you have to go through and do these redux missions where it's the missions from the beginning of the game, but they're way harder and have modifiers on them, so
Okay.
you have to run through with people. But once you get all of
Okay.
those and you go through them a couple of times, you can upgrade your armor set from 200. It goes up to 400.
oh wow.
Wow.
See,
okay.
World of
Yeah.
Warcraft kind of does the same thing with dungeons, and then they have heroic dungeons and then mythic
And
dungeons.
then when this new one, I can't name spacing me right now, but the new expansion with Cade 6 comes out, they're gonna jump the level cap up to 50.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So because
You guys are pretty hot on that. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are pretty excited for that.
I
What is it?
am
Forsaken?
right now.
Is that what it's called?
Forsaken,
Yeah. And I mean, and I'm really
mostly because it's focused on Cade 6.
yeah,
Like,
and
I fucking
Nathan
love
Fillion
that.
is
Yeah.
Cade 6 or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Nathan Fillion can do fucking anything, in my opinion. Like,
Right.
right, he can. There could be a game of him voicing a piece of shit rolling down the hill,
yeah.
and I'd play it every
I
You
day.
would-
could
I would
put
play
a
the
piece of shit
fuck
in a
out.
box and I would buy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Like, Nathan Fillion is fucking amazing.
So another thing that that Microsoft is really trying to, they really want to make it in Japan. They really want to start selling consoles in Japan, but they've never quite been able to do it. In fact,
Well, yeah, I mean, with the markets cornered by Nintendo and Sony.
not only that, but Japan is like an entirely different kind of culture.
Yeah,
You know, in many different ways. Like
Like, stuff wouldn't play
Japanese,
well there that plays well here.
Well, not only that, Japanese people don't chill at home.
yeah,
They don't, They're always on the go. Like that's why the Switch is doing gangbusters in Japan right now.
yeah.
Like the Switch and the 3DS and like even mobile
the
games.
Vita, like
Even the Vita. The
Yeah.
Vita kicked ass in Japan,
Yeah.
man. Like God, and it's so weird that like why do they want to do that?
Yeah.
I've always questioned that. Like why are they wanting to go in Japan so bad? Like the 360, their best-selling console is 1.6 million in Japan.
Chump change.
And it's like, well, depending on who you ask. But I mean, like the thing is like that's nothing compared to the 84 million worldwide.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's just it dwarfs in comparison.
So, and I don't understand why, like this year's E3, they were like, oh yeah, all about Japan, you know, Japanese developed games. They premiered Devil May Cry 5, looks fantastic. They premiered a new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, looks fantastic. But guess what? I'm not going to play those games on your console. I'm going to play those games on my PS4.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. Like, I don't know. It's just, we use our PS4 for everything.
Yeah, same.
I bought another one for my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just crazy to me that they're having such a hard time in Japan, and it's like, you need to focus elsewhere. You need to focus on other things. And I don't understand it. Like, we did get cool shit like that Blue Dragon game, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me. And, like, for me to sit here and say there's 3 games that are really, like, super... Like, when I think of Xbox, they come to mind. Halo, Gears, Fable. That's it. That is it.
Yeah, that's those.
Like, do we have the time to sit down and explain how many games are coming to PS4? Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted, anything
what's
Uncharted.
The other one that's not Ghost of Tsushima, but it's
Neo.
No. There's Neo too, but there's another one.
Neo's rad. That game is really cool.
What
is it?
There's 2 of them that Sony announced at E3. There's Ghost of Tsushima, and then there's another one.
At E3 this year, it was Ghost of Tsushima and Neo 2.
No, there was another one. I swear to God.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
Sekiro. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that game's coming to Xbox.
Oh, okay. That's right. I didn't realize that. But...
Yeah, that game's gonna be so cool, dude. I'm so excited for that game.
That's like the Dark Souls-y one, right?
It is made by FromSoft.
Okay.
It's I've read a lot about that game in the last couple days, and it's Dark Souls like, but they're making some major changes. Like, there's no more souls. Like, you don't level up by souls anymore. Like, there's a huge emphasis on stealth. Like, I don't know. But the thing I'm trying to get to is, like, why would I play these games on PS4 when I can play them on... Or why would I play these games on Xbox when I can play them on PS4?
Right.
Why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all my friends are on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
My trophies are on PS4. Like,
Exactly.
achievements are cool. Like, I was a huge achievement whore.
I still love achievements, like the gamer score and everything, but...
Yeah, and not only that, like... And like their whole pushing point for the Xbox One X was this huge thing of, like, you know, it's the most powerful console in the world. It's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Give me games.
Yeah.
I don't care about the 97th different color of camo you put on this console. I'm not gonna buy it. It's $500. Guess what? My PS4 Pro, which is the premium edition of the PlayStation, which plays 4K, does all this shit, is $100 cheaper.
Yep.
And has actual games.
Yeah.
And has everything that's fun to play on Xbox.
Yep.
On it.
And if it's camouflaged, how are you going to put your
No
game in it?
shit. Where do I put the game?
You'll never know.
You'll never know where it is.
Yeah.
You'll just have to shout to the invisible John Cena to put it in for you, because he can probably see it.
And not only that, like, they did this thing, I think it was 2 years ago. I could be wrong on that, but 2 years ago, they announced that every game that comes to Xbox is coming to PC. Then what the hell is the point of buying an Xbox?
Exactly.
Why?
That's why I went out and bought a pre-built PC from Newegg for under $800.
Why would I pay $400 to $500 to play a game that I can play in much better quality on the PC?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I'm still confused on why they did
and
that.
it's like, oh yeah, but it's cheaper than the PC you bought. I'm like, yeah, but anything that I buy on PC, I can play online for free.
Yeah.
Through Steam, or whether it's Steam, Origin for Battlefield, or Epic for Fortnite or whatever the fuck. But like, there's no subscription cost.
Yeah.
Like, minus the Origin monthly that you pay if you want to get all that shit, but there's no online play that you have to pay for.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's such a hard topic for me to talk about just because I love the Xbox. Like, the way that I'm sounding right now makes me sound like I hate it, but I don't. I have an Xbox. I have an Xbox One S.
It really hates the Xbox.
I paid $400 for that thing the day it came out.
Self-loathing Xbox owners.
Yeah.
Man, if I was a diehard Xbox fan and I was like, I'm never buying Sony,
Yeah.
I'm never buying Nintendo, I would be hating life right now. Like seeing us playing like Uncharted and The Last of Us and Ghost of
Man, I sure wish I could play
Tsushima
that
and
Last of Us 2
Spider-Man,
game.
like all these games are super cool. And
Like I've never.
Dude, Days
I have-
Gone? Days
Oh,
Gone.
Days
yeah.
Gone looks rad.
I have not been as excited in years about a game as I am about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is going to be that's their title. That's PlayStation's title for the year, and with
Yeah.
good reason. Like that game looks phenomenal. It looks
It's
fantastic.
Beautiful.
And everything that I've heard is like, yeah, it's the game. Like it's the game this year besides Red Dead. But you know, Red Dead is this Indiana Jones ball that's just coming at you high speed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Every other developer in the world is looking at that game like it is. I am about to get.
Did you read that
crushed.
the map on Red Dead 2 is bigger than GTA 5?
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, dude. I
I would
watched.
expect it to at
Yeah.
this point.
I
Yeah.
watched a bunch of the gameplay that people
Looks
showed.
so good, huh?
What was it? God, I don't remember what the podcast was. But anyway, yeah, it was like it was a YouTube thing, and it was just fucking amazing. Like the whole thing was just so expansive and like you know, not only can you see massive, just so far into the distance,
Yeah.
but you can even see like on the mountains where there are trails where you would go up.
Yeah.
You know, and into the back country, and it's just fucking amazing.
You know-
It's details like that, like
Yeah.
even just field of view.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is what captures me about a game. Like
Yeah.
it could be just like the smallest nuances, like when Sony announced Last of Us 2, and she was in that store.
Bawled my eyes out
When she was in that store,
when
she
that
was
game
in,
got announced, man.
when she was in that store hiding from those dudes or whatever,
Yeah.
and she was able to go through the cracks between the shelving.
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's beautiful. Like, because
Yeah.
you know, usually that's just one of those barriers.
When she was taking the thugs down, I'm sitting here wondering, and I talked about this when we did the last one, but I was like, am I watching like an interactive like where you like push the button and she does that, or is this like the actual her
Yeah.
going into attack? Like,
Yeah.
I can't
They're
tell.
magicians
Like,
over there,
I mean,
man.
you're
Like
just
they're
you're
crazy.
just like that, just immersed,
Yeah.
just
Immediately.
completely, fully.
You know what's
immersed.
crazy is that a lot of people were calling folly on that trailer.
Are you
They're
serious?
saying that it wasn't real. A lot of it wasn't real.
Really?
And I'm sitting here going like, I did that in the last game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did that in the last game.
Right.
I did something to affect that in the last game.
Yeah.
It
And
just
it's like
wasn't-
the only
it wasn't that fluid though, but
no,
Yeah.
no,
Same,
heavens no.
but
The only
in
thing
that regard.
I'm like trying to remember all of it because there was one point I've watched that trailer like at least 10 or 15 times.
Right.
I remember watching that video and there was only like one thing that really kind of stuck out to me is like, maybe not. And it's when he throws her over the edge and it like crashes into that little makeup stand right there and all the glass goes everywhere. I'm like, maybe not. But the slipping through the cracks and going around, like, yeah, totally. That totally can happen because they've fucking done it before.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
done that shit before in a game. So why are you? And it was Crystal Dynamics, the people behind the new Tomb Raider,
Right.
just throwing shade. They're like, that's not real. That's
Yeah.
not real. And it's like, come play our. No, I'm not gonna play your freaking game, dude.
No, and what they really wanted to say was, we can't do that.
We can't do that shit,
can't do
dude.
that.
And that's like,
We can't. I mean, they probably can't either. It's
Although
whatever.
some of
it's
those
all
Tomb
fake.
Raider games had something to
those games are
that
cool.
effect.
Those games are cool, but if you put The Last of Us Part 2 on the table and you put Shadow of the Tomb Raider, guess where the hell I'm going?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
it's not even a question.
I'm still gonna buy Shadow of the Tomb Raider on PC because I have two of them, and if you haven't played those on PC, then you fucking need to because they are so much.
You
better.
know,
They look great.
like,
They look great.
There is little in terms of like cosplay that is cooler to me than when people do the old Tomb Raider, like the old Lara Croft with the triangular.
Yeah.
spoon.
Yeah,
I fucking that is every time I see that I'm
Yeah.
like, God, yeah, look at you.
And you know, to speak to your point a little bit, Derek, about like the level of detail that's in this Rockstar game.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I say is like it used to be that I was like Rockstar can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Like whenever they make a game, that's why they take 6, 7, 8 years
Yeah.
to make a game. You're not going to see the next
and they
GTA.
keep delaying it.
Yeah, Of course, they don't care. They do not give a shit about your feelings of whether or not this game was supposed to be out by now.
They just want they
Last
know
year,
that
this
And
we're gonna
I'm okay
appreciate
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
Give
they
me
know that-
one person that is genuinely pissed about
Yeah.
that game coming out when it is.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody.
And it's like that's such an arbitrary thing to bitch about
At this
because
point,
it's
you've
like,
got another 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
well, back then we didn't.
Well, no, but
back
at
then
this
it was
point,
like,
yeah.
holy shit! It got.
I mean, like, I'm sorry. We want to make it fucking good.
That's the thing,
How-
though. Is like
how
they don't
dare
give
they,
a shit
you know?
about your feelings.
As they shouldn't.
They don't give a shit. They're gonna make the game that they want to make, and that's what makes me love Sony's because they're like, you know what, dude, make your game.
I mean, that's
Make
artistry.
it.
That's artistry.
It is.
I'm sorry. Do you guys want another PUBG console release? Because that's what's gonna happen.
You know what? You know what?
Because that's how you
Boggles-
get another PUBG console.
You know what boggles my freaking mind? Why did they box that and sell it? There's not
Oh.
a disc in there. It's a box.
Yeah.
It's a box like
With the code.
like that
With the
thick
code.
with a code in it.
Yeah.
Why did you waste the freaking paper and plastic and code? Why did you even think that that was a good idea? That's the
That
most
is
moronic
wonderful.
thing.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
Nor did I. That's amazing.
Welcome to ridiculous. Like,
Just
why
put
did we
it
do
on the
that?
store. People are still gonna buy it.
Every
That
time
is
I walk into
amazing.
Best Buy, they've got a giant ass shelf with, oh my god! And how much is it? It's $30, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 30 all
Great
around
price
everywhere.
for a game that is arguably better in Fortnite, which is free. Sorry,
We're gonna change. We're gonna change the name of this episode to Xbox None and some other shit.
The thing is like I could tell you up and down of like all these things that they did wrong. Mm-hmm. But the thing is I want to talk about what they're doing right.
Tell
What
us
they're
what-
doing right now.
Well, tell us what they're doing right.
Okay, right now, well, the biggest thing is, and what makes me happy, is that at E3 they announced that they purchased 5 new game studios. That's huge. That's really huge. Because not only that, they're all exclusive. Well, it depends, because Xbox has a really loose definition of the term exclusive.
Right.
Because it's like, it's not really exclusive. These games are coming to PC too. Mm-hmm. I don't know, I feel like they're making steps in the right direction to make me care about this console. Like I said, they bought those studios, which are huge, including one of them is the studio behind We Happy Few, a game that you're quite enamored
Compulsion.
with right now.
And I am absolutely gonna go and buy that game.
Anyway.
But anyway,
But I digest.
yes,
I digest.
quite often, I might
So
add.
okay, so you were telling us what Xbox is doing right.
I don't know. I just feel like they've got a different mindset about it, you know, and you could tell that shit really was not, like, this thing hit the ground, but it did not hit the ground running. It hit the ground tumbling hard, you know, and so immediately they got rid of Don, I think his name is Don Matrick. He's the original guy that you saw up on there talking about the 360, talking about the One. And that reveal was disastrous. I was thinking about myself to myself the other day. I was like, I really should watch that reveal again because it's on YouTube. And I was like, I don't want to put myself through that pain.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch because they're focusing so much on the TV aspect of the Xbox One. If you didn't know, you can plug 2 HDMI cords basically into it. One of them goes into your cable box, one of them goes into your TV, and you can use your Xbox One as kind of this like
You know
hub.
what else you can do? Change the input on with your remote.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was kind of cool. I did it once or twice.
It was
because it
innovative.
used like its own interface. Like
Yeah.
it was. It
but again,
wasn't.
that's a novelty. I mean, that's
It is a
not-
novelty, and not only that, in an age where a TV is completely dying,
Yeah,
it was like you couldn't have made the
Little bit of off the topic news, something we were just talking about.
Oh hey,
Wow.
My Hero Academia Funko
the
Pops.
Deku one is dope. The Todoroki one is dope. Not feeling the All Might one. It's cool, but so this guy is Deku. He's your main character. This one is it? What's the frog lady's name?
Sue.
Sue. She wants you to call her Sue.
As a frog lady would be named.
This guy's name is All Might. He's the guy that's like super buff, and you always see him in the commercials. But he's kind of in a spoiler form right there. This is their teacher, who's really cool. His power. So the thing is with this show is that everyone has quirks. Everyone is, and that's their superpower. That's the name. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the name for superpower is quirk, and they're all like super random and weird. Like none of them are just super strength. Like one of them is the chick's literally a frog. Like she looks like a human, but she just has frog-like abilities.
So Toad.
Yeah, she's Toad from X-Men.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, don't know that, but yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. There's another one. Todoroki's basically this guy who his father was fire, his mother was ice, so naturally he came together and he has powers for both. Like, dude, this show is so cool. Like, and it's totally up your alley, and I'm completely surprised that you have not heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to see it yet.
There are, much to like what I say about like Naughty Dog and Rockstar, there are two studios out there in the anime world that are just murdering it, and it's My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan.
And I've seen some Attack on Titan, and I like Attack on Titan.
The new Attack on Titan is like they're getting all of their ideas from Game of Thrones.
Like one that I just finished because I'm waiting for 3. I think is Food Wars.
Food Wars is cool.
Food Wars is so good. It's like borderline like softcore hentai.
Hentai.
Yes.
But it's with food though.
Yeah.
Like every time they take a bite, they're like they have like an orgasmic blast.
Unless,
dude, this show is it's so hard to describe.
Unless they eat something disgusting, then it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's like a giant squid with tentacles going up and like grabbing this girl's cooch, and it's like
it's bad.
Oh, it's amazing.
This show it's like so entertaining to watch.
Like
though.
you do.
Like you do.
That's
Like
exactly
you do.
how
Don't
I
it
feel
always seem to go?
But yeah, like those.
God damn it! Got grabbed in the cooch again.
I'm probably gonna buy you the Blu-ray set of My Hero just because it's so good, and it's like absolutely your show.
Did you ever watch that one on Netflix?
God, we are getting so off topic.
We are.
We
So
really
easily.
are. We really are.
Basically, they got rid of Don Matrick, which was a train wreck, and they got arguably one of the best spoke people ever with the new guy. What's his name?
Wrong. Best spokesperson ever, Micro Machines guy.
Whatever. in video games, you jackass.
Well,
There's Larry Erb. Yeah. Larry Erb's the guy that's always on there.
Larry Erb is my favorite dealer.
Phil Spencer.
That's who I was thinking.
Phil Spencer. Sure. Phil Spencer kicks ass. I wish in some parallel universe that Sony could have.
You know
Phil
who
Spencer.
I loved from Sony was the actor like from the commercials, those fake commercials.
Yes. What the hell was his name?
I don't know.
The greatest gamer alive. What was his name? He was always so cool about. He's the kind of guy that was like, oh yeah, being a gamer is all about living in what did he say? Living in a 1-bedroom apartment, but having a 75-inch TV. He's like, that's what being a gamer's all about. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna buy an Xbox.
Kevin Butler.
It's just, I feel like they know. Mm-hmm. They finally know. Like the message is fully across. Like, and it kind of worried me that because we've been talking, everyone's been talking about like, oh, they don't have any games. That's the number one complaint about Xbox right now, is they don't have games. It's a perfectly competent machine, you know? Especially the X, because apparently it's the strongest console in the world. I'm not going to know until you drop that sucker, probably about $150.
And you actually put some games into it.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't know. I just, my ecosystem is so PlayStation, it's so Nintendo, that maybe you don't even want to take my opinion. Like, maybe my opinion's not valid to you, because I am a huge Sony and Nintendo fan.
I am diehard Sony fan.
But I will tell you that I have owned multiple Xboxes, original Xboxes.
Same.
I owned 8 Xbox 360s. Cool. Every time one of them broke, I mowed lawns. I cut I did everything. I did everything to get the money to go and get those things.
Right.
I was absolutely enamored
and then
with my 360.
They dropped the Elite.
I have a funny story about that. So I tried so hard to get just a normal Xbox 360, and I did. I eventually got one, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's got a 360! That thing's so cool!" Everyone's coming over to play Halo and stuff. And my next door neighbor, his parents are like super rich. Like his dad's like a chiropractor, and his mom does something. I'm not sure, but They're really rich. And I remember he was like, you want to see something cool? It was right around Christmas time, and they go into his garage, and he's like, he found his Christmas stash. And it's like, it's a 360, and it's got all the Gears of War games, it's got all the Halos, it's got like 2 extra controllers. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I hate you. I hate you. Colton Astle, I love you. But yeah, I was incredibly jealous of that. But yeah, like, dude, I can't tell you how many great times I've had with an Xbox.
And that's the thing. Like, whenever I had an Xbox, it was great. I never when the first 2 Mass Effect games came out, and those
Holy
were
shit! Yeah, Mass Effect. That was a 360 only title.
Yeah, the first 2 were.
Holy hell! Yeah.
When
Those
Mass
games are
Effect came
awesome.
out, dude, like that was fucking cool because I remember saving my Coheed and Cambria album to my Xbox. Dude,
Yeah, that was so cool.
Dude, I still fucking love Coheed.
Well, yeah.
I don't even care.
And so, like, I'd fucking play Mass Effect and fucking blare Coheed in the background, and it would it would pair up so perfectly. Mm-hmm. And like those were like some of the fondest times I had, dude. I played Street Fighter 4 on that.
Absolutely.
Thing, you know what I mean? Like,
We still need to square up some.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? And
dude, the 360 had a damn solid library.
it really did. The
Damn
360 had a
solid.
great, solid library, and I had
And that's
so
why
much
it won.
fun. Yeah,
That's why it won. It won, not by much, but it still won. Like, you can still, Microsoft can walk away and say that, we beat the PS3.
Yeah.
We beat it.
Yeah.
Like, how many people, how many companies can say that they beat their primary opponent?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me. But, like, my fondest memory with Xbox is right when Halo 3 came out. Mm-hmm. Can you remember that week? Came out on a Tuesday. That week was awesome.
I didn't get the game at the time, but I went to the release at the mall.
Yeah.
And they had like 12 TVs set up, and people were doing like split screen Halo 2 competition.
I remember I was actually on a hunting trip with my dad, and I told my mom, I was like, hey, this game comes out on this day. Can you go pick it up for me? Like, it's already paid for. Like, pre-ordering was still a thing back then. And she did. And she texted me. She's like, hey, I went and got your game. It was $5 extra. You owe me. And I'm like, all right, whatever, Mom. You lame-o.
Sucker.
And I remember coming home that day from hunting. That trip was awesome, too. And getting that game, man. And it was euphoric.
Yeah.
Because you get this shit and you've waited so long. That was 8th grade for me. Mm-hmm. So I had to have been, 12, 13?
Yeah.
And I remember...
Why are you asking Nick?
You were exactly that age. I remember.
I don't know.
Dad, can you tell me what age I was?
He's just looking at him like, was I 12?
Halo
By the
was
way,
the shit.
Can I tell you, every time you say hunting trip, I am such a mark for Supernatural. Every time you say hunting trip, that's all I can think of is Dad
You're
went
going
on
to
a
get
hunting
along
trip.
really well with her.
And he hasn't been back in a few days.
And I remember running down, unplugging that thing, and taking it over to my buddy because he had this huge TV and Game Fuel, pizza, all weekend.
Dude,
like,
that happened similar to, I think it was when Reach came out, actually. Like, me and my friends all we had, we didn't all have our Xboxes, but we were all at my friend's house, and we all, like, signed in on our tags or whatever, and we just played split screen through the entire campaign in one night. From release to like 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna go home now.
So I will say one thing about like PvP battle royale multiplayer type things.
Yeah.
Part and I will readily admit this. Part of the reason that I'm not into them is because I suck balls at them. Right? So, but
can you emphasize balls a little bit more?
Balls.
Perfect. Can I get a cut of that recording? Okay.
Just me saying balls. Put it as your ringer.
No, it's going to be my text tone. So I can hear it twice as much.
It's gonna be my alarm.
Balls.
But I mean, I totally don't mind watching. Like, I like watching people play.
That's fun. Yeah,
like,
that's fun
I like watching people play any games.
Look at the rise of Twitch.
Yeah, right.
The rise of Twitch and streaming. Like, it's
totally.
huge.
I mean,
streaming is the biggest thing in the world right now.
It's
like,
so
it's crazy.
weird to me.
Follow Nerdcore Podcast on Twitch, and follow Deja Nintendo on Twitch. Thank you.
That's DejaNintendo.
That's NERD Court Podcast.
EIO.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I have a lot of I am severely disappointed with the one. Like to boil this all down to a couple sentences, yeah, I'm absolutely disappointed with the one. It had a stellar Gears game. Mm-hmm. It's an awesome Gears game. But the thing is you really shit the bed with Halo.
Yeah.
The Halo 5 is one of the... It's not only the worst Halo game, it's also a really bad video game.
Just in general.
The story is incredibly rushed. It's not cohesive at all.
Because they don't care about that anymore.
Well, I mean, it's just...
The multiplayer is the best in the series.
Well, of course. That's where everything's going.
That's what it is.
That's why they didn't...
Better than Halo 2. I'll say that on record right now. It's better than Halo 2.
Everything is better. Dude, I'll fucking play Catherine.
God, babe, you remember Catherine? You remember how I almost broke my $400 PlayStation playing Catherine?
Catherine
Funny story.
Is one of my most favorite games.
Funny
I love
story,
Catherine
and I
because
actually
it's made by
I
Atlas.
told Cole and Angela this, but hilarious story. So I was on the internet looking at videos.
Uh-huh.
We'll leave it there.
Okay.
And I found this one video where it was just like, oh yeah, this gamer girl, you know. And I'm like, okay, like gamer girl, all right. I know she's not like actually playing anything, but, you know, it's a cool
For the
little
sake
thing
of
to
story,
watch.
she
Yeah.
was playing a video.
So I
game.
watched
She's
it.
playing something.
So I watch it, and basically it's hilarious because she's sitting there like on her stomach playing, and this dude just comes in behind her, and he's just like, "Yeah, this is a good time," and he just starts going at it with her, and you can catch glimpse of the TV screen, and I pause it, and I'm like, she's fucking playing Catherine. She's actually playing a video game while she's getting raped.
Wow.
I just love the fact that it broke your tension. And you're like,
Well, I mean,
Catherine.
priorities.
It's like
You're a
priorities.
true gamer.
It's like,
You really are a true
I was
gamer.
like, I recognize that.
What did you
scream.
notice first?
I heard the sound, and because
Yeah.
I heard it, and then I came in.
God, I hate that
And
game
then-
so much.
And then I saw, like, because it was kind of blurred out because
Yeah.
they weren't obviously focusing
Right.
on
Yeah.
that. But I saw, like, the hopping up onto the squares, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I paused it on a clear scene, and there it was, and I was like, she is actually playing a game.
Well, now you're invested in something else. You're like,
Yeah.
is she gonna beat this level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if she does,
What is she gonna be?
will you finish?
Yeah.
But only
What's
if it's
gonna finish first?
What am I finishing to at this point?
Exactly. Like, oh, she did it. She did it.
But only if it's consensual, because we at the Nerd Corporation are pro consent.
Of course.
Absolutely. The thing is like I really thought that Nintendo shit the bed with the Wii U, and
Yeah.
they brought it back
With the
like,
Switch, yeah.
with the Switch, and it's like, and Microsoft. The thing is like they're not going bankrupt. They're not hurting at all. Like
No.
40 million units is nothing to scoff at.
No,
like,
no.
Well,
That
and
was
I-
a profit for the GameCube, and the GameCube only sold like
So
30, I think.
Do you think though that a company that big and that who has for so long been set in this is the direction we're going? Do you think they're going to go, no, fuck you, we're still going this direction?
No, absolutely
Or do you think
not.
they're going to go, okay, no, let's switch gears here and figure out and actually do what people want?
You can see already in
Okay.
the ways that they've been going about it that they're absolutely 100% going in the opposite direction of what
Okay.
they were doing. Keep in mind that the original idea of the Xbox, why it's called the Xbox One, is because it was supposed to be your one hub. It was
Right.
supposed to be your one thing in the center of your living room. Connect your TV, your games, your movies, your music, everything. It was supposed to be that,
Right.
and it never did. And like they showed 2 games off at that reveal, which was the new Call of Duty, which is
Forza,
the
wasn't it? Was Forza?
And Forza.
one? Yeah.
Call of Duty and Forza.
You
So
couldn't you
I-
couldn't get me into Forza if
Okay, Forza Horizon is a different story. I
Yeah.
But
fucking
how
love
many-
Forza Horizon,
I don't know, like
but
you can tell me
Motorsport-
till you're blue in the face that game is 10 out of 10 quality, but I'm still looking at it like it's a racing game.
it's open
Okay,
world,
you know what though?
Oh.
All right, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
The last racing game that I absolutely fucking love.
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
No, Underground 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that game's cool.
Underground 2.
And Underground 2 had like the best soundtrack.
It had an amazing soundtrack. It had amazing customization. It had it was everything
made by EA?
it was everything I wanted.
It was made by EA.
Yeah. And then right after that they were like, "You know what? Remember all those good things that we had? Fuck them.
Yeah, let's just take them out.
Fuck them and fuck you."
Until Most Wanted and like Payback happened.
I mean, I wasn't even a huge fan of Most Wanted.
See, and
That game was rad. I have
Most
Wanted on the PSP.
I have it
it's
and
really
I
cool.
like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, Underground 2 blows
Payback.
it away.
Payback is awesome. I'm playing
Payback's-
Payback right now, and
Yeah.
Payback is fucking cool.
Like,
like
dude,
it
I
too.
remember back in the day, I made like a straight up Spider-Man car.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking tits, dude. It was so cool.
Yeah, I
So,
remember, dude.
kind of to speak to your point of like, are they going to change it around? Or are they going
Right.
to say, no, we're going to go the route that we want to? Look at EA
Yeah.
right now. Look at what happened with Battlefield 5. They came out. If you don't know, the major controversy right now around Battlefield 5 is that they're including women in World War II. And it's like, I can't imagine a stupider thing to bitch about.
Exactly.
I really can't. But the thing is
Was there any of that bitching when Call of Duty World War II came out?
was there a woman on the front counter?
Not
of the
okay,
front
not on the
package?
front cover, but you could play as
That's
one.
literally what people are mad about.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand why people. But the thing is EA clapped back. They were like, you know what? If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
And
here's
guess what? That's what happened.
here's the other thing to me though. Like, I get that, people are going to say, well, that's not historically very accurate and whatever. But also, it's a fucking fictional game.
You're not playing like a History Channel
Right.
moment
Who
by
the
moment.
fuck cares?
You know what I mean? And that's true, because it's just like, oh, that's not historically accurate. Neither is reviving yourself after you've died.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the biggest thing
But anyway.
is that a lot of people are saying that it's insulting. It's insulting to my ancestors, to my grandpa that fought in World War II. And I'm like,
I mean, that's a cop-out.
you could, yeah, exactly.
Well, then
you
fucking
could,
tell your grandpa to not buy the game. Like,
Yeah, go to your grandpa. Go to the cemetery. Tell your grandpa, hey, you can sit this one out.
yeah.
Don't get the game.
Well,
You're
the-
gonna be disappointed.
The thing is that it
I mean,
hurt
you're a
them-
huge
it hurt them
misogynist
really bad.
anyway, probably.
This last week, a report came out said that Battlefield 5 is 85% down
Wow.
in pre-orders compared to the new Call of Duty.
Yeah, but you have to look at the community that you're selling it to, who are largely fucking assholes to women in gaming.
That might be a little subjective, but
I mean, it
I
is.
understand where you're coming from.
It is, but there are so many examples.
I mean, but how many people
But
run out and buy the same Madden every year?
oh, Jesus.
well,
You could say the same thing about those kind of people. Is like,
yeah.
But there's someone who I admire a great deal. My dad. My
Mm-hmm.
dad buys every single Call of Duty every year. Whether he plays them more than an hour or two, I don't really know.
Right.
But he buys every single Call of Duty. He loves that experience. He loves how they play. He loves the gunplay. He loves this awesome idea of going back to World War II and joining a ragtag squad. And World War II's campaign was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That
Yes.
campaign was
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Why do they think that we don't want?
Another
Why do they think
campaign,
that we
yeah.
don't want this?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, we go into statistics
Well,
and
I
we
mean, I
see
don't-
how often you play the single player and we see how often you play the multiplayer. And it's
I
like,
don't think it's that they think people don't want it at all. I think it's just that they know that multiplayer is what makes the money.
Yeah.
And so
It
that's
is.
what they focus on. So they don't end up having time to focus on the story mode. But no, like what you were saying about people having, not
Negative
knowing
reaction.
your dad's playtime.
yeah.
Dude, if I had $1 for every game I played way less than I intended, I would have enough to buy another game.
Just straight up give me a disc-based story continuation of Ghosts, and I will be
Yeah.
Yes, please.
satisfied as fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That was the
end
only
of
good
that
thing.
campaign.
That campaign was rad. That campaign was really
I'm
good.
still
You remember
Well,
that? What was it called? Was it called the Honey Badger?
Yeah,
That gun was
The
so
switch-
cool,
the
dude.
Switchable gun.
Oh my hell, dude! That gun was so cool, man.
God.
And that gun never came. It never came to any other Call of Duties, which is a shame because that gun wrecked.
That was the only good thing about Ghosts for me was the campaign. The multiplayer was shit.
Don't say that to my little brother. My little brother will wreck you in that multiplayer. I don't understand it,
it's
but
shit.
it-
That's why. It's because it's shit.
Sorry, Cameron.
If I suck at it, it's shit.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know,
It's
it's-
just because it was just I don't know. Like I could not get into that one. Like
I played the hell out of it, and I just remember because I was starting to date Angela right when that game came out, and I was texting her all the time, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, this game's really cool, but I don't really know if I'm going to play it that much. And I think I played it a fraction of how much I played, like, the original Modern Warfare 2,
Yep.
like Black Ops. I don't know what it was about that game, but yeah, the campaign is massively underrated. I love that campaign.
Black Ops 2, that was
dog.
my shit. Like Black
Do you
Ops
remember
2 was
how
my shit.
revolutionary the dog was and all the fur and all that shit? That's what we want. That's what we want is realistic fur on our canines. Okay? We don't want high quality, full octane, emotional video games. We want realistic fur.
Well, okay, so
Okay.
one thing I've
watched
been,
that reveal,
I've been
that's what they
super
said.
confused about, and I forget what game it was.
Yeah.
But what was with the whole PETA being upset about some sort of like animal violence in a
When is
video
PETA
game?
not
Like
upset?
that doesn't.
It was
I
a
know,
game that
I
had
know.
to do with.
But why does that even make sense? Again,
There were rats.
It's not real.
Dishonored?
It was Dishonored, I think.
Oh, was it?
Because it had to do with rats, that you could kill the rats. And I think it was Dishonored.
No.
It was
There-
something that had to do with rats.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of
I mean,
the
it was
game.
semi-recent. But yeah, I can't remember what it was. But it makes
PETA's always
absolutely
upset
no
about
sense.
something
I
in a video
know,
game.
I know, but it makes absolutely no sense to me. Like,
Yeah, no,
that's what you're focusing on. That's
mean,
what you're focusing on.
That's kind of the whole thing I feel about with like video game violence. It just doesn't.
Well, and I mean, because here's the thing: people who, I feel like people who blame real life violence on video game violence don't understand real life violence or real life violent people.
It's a
Are you ready for this?
It is.
PETA targets Battlefield 3 for cruelty against rats.
That's right.
That's
it
what it
was
was.
Battlefield
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Holy shit! I
Yeah.
remember now.
Because you could shoot the rats?
What was it?
Brutal.
There's like a
Battlefield 3
moment where
rat
you're-
stabbing.
Rat
Yeah.
stabbing.
There's like a moment where you're like crawling through a pipe and there's a rat that comes up. Does the rat attack you? I can't remember.
So like, where?
It's been
Wait,
so long since I
wait,
played
hold
that
on
game.
though. So where was PETA when, like,
The
in
realistic
the South
computer
Park
game
game?
Battlefield 3 treats animals in a sadistic manner. The game gives players the option to kill a rat with a combat knife in the back in order to then lift it by its tail, then toss it away.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but rats shit all over my house, so I'm gonna kill them. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like it's detrimental to not only my health, my
Yeah.
girlfriend's health, my dog's health.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Exactly.
gonna kill rats. I'm sorry, they're a useless disease-carrying rodent. That's gonna happen. I'm sorry. For you to get up in arms about a rat, that's
Yeah.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And not only that, it's a visual. It's a
It's a
thing
representation.
Yeah.
of a polygon model with pixels on it, and you're getting upset over a fictional, non-existent rat.
They gotta give
Get a life.
They gotta give a fuck about all the animals.
Get a life.
Well, exact, because like that's the thing to me.
Even,
Like
especially the ones that they've been killing themselves.
Yeah.
that's the thing to me. I totally understand wanting to preserve life and
Absolutely.
and things like that. So fucking focus on reality then, and do things that are helpful instead of like, you know, because like there's the whole everybody's against shaming of everything, right? Unless you're PETA, and then your primary directive is to absolutely shame, degrade, and scream at people who do what you don't want them to do.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
I mean, there's a right and a wrong way to get your point across.
Yeah, well,
and a
not
lot
just-
of people choose the wrong
I
way.
mean, not just get your point across, but who do you think you're gonna fucking win over to your side if you're just screaming at them? Like that's not gonna earn you any,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
good
not.
feelings. It's just not.
I feel like that's just kind of a common issue
Yeah.
in today's society.
Mm-hmm.
Is we don't. I mean, this can be applied to video games. It can be applied to any kind of nerd culture. Is that if you have something that you want changed, there's like a huge amount of no-nos
Right.
that you don't do.
I'm seriously just gonna. We're just gonna
Fisticuffs.
call this a shooting the shit episode.
No problem. I don't care. I'm totally like, the thing is like it's a me bitching episode, which is probably not the best way to introduce myself.
No, it's totally fine. No, it's,
Cole's working through some issues right now.
Please
No,
excuse him.
no, it's-
Existential
deals-
dread is a
while he deals with
constant
shit.
no,
problem
it's
for me.
it's the best. It's the best way. It's the best way to introduce yourself. I feel like this episode.
It shows them how passionate you are about
Yeah.
what
Well,
we're
and
gonna
that's
be doing
what
later.
people are gonna listen for.
Yeah.
I mean,
The thing
even
is
if-
like I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
I love video games, man. I love video games, and I'm a 24-year-old man, and
I don't even know how old you are.
I don't.
Ask Nick again.
Yeah.
Nick knows me better. I'm a 24-year-old man, and I love video games. I love video games. Nothing really gives me.
I want to make love to a schoolboy. From Dumb and Dumber.
Oh,
You just ruined it.
It's
I just
fine.
lost all my momentum.
Oh, shit.
I am very passionate about these things because I feel like it's for you to sit stone face and tell me that video games are not an art. You cannot be more wrong.
yeah. It's
Well,
You
right.
could not be more wrong.
I'm a 33-year-old man, and I love video.
You got the dopest shirts.
I'm not gonna tell anyone
Oh
how
my god,
old
you got
I
the
am,
coolest shirts,
but-
dude.
Well, see, I mean that's the
I
thing.
wish I was
almost
skinnier
wore
so
my,
I could.
it
I almost
takes-
wore my PlayStation shirt.
It takes passion.
Hell yeah. She's
to-
wearing my PlayStation.
It takes
shirt.
so much passion to create them.
Yeah.
It takes so much passion to be immersed in them, and it takes so much like I don't think anybody should ever be ashamed of what it is they're passionate about, regardless of what it is. But I think it's amazing and refreshing and just really cool to know what people are passionate about, because maybe it's something that you've never even considered,
Yeah.
and someone has a conversation with you about it, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, holy shit, I found a new thing that I love.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like I feel like the older I get, the more I understand and I appreciate people's. Like back then I used to bitch constantly about developers and be like, you know what the hell is this? Like, this is lazy game design, and like I'll still say that sometimes, but like these people are giving everything to make these games. Not paid overtime. They're constantly staying after their time that they should be going home.
Yeah.
They're
Hideo
always
Kojima
yeah.
locked in a freaking.
Look at Hideo. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Like this guy who's a genius.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
a
Kojima's the
genius.
man.
And that's actually one of my topics that I'm researching right now is the whole Konami versus Kojima thing, which is awesome. And there's some shit in there that will make your skin crawl.
Huh.
How poorly they treated him. Not only him, but his entire team.
Wow.
And like how badly Konami treats all of their game developers. And there's a reason why games are not coming out from Konami anymore.
Wow.
Because I mean, not only are they like not into it, but they're focusing on pachinko machines in Japan. Like Konami's huge in Japan. Like they've got like gyms and shit. Like it's huge over
So
there.
they just think they can do whatever they want and treat people how they want.
Exactly. And like I said, like I've got some damning evidence, and it's not like I'm gonna like.
Blow the lid off.
I'm not like I'm not like a whistleblower or anything, but it's like this shit. It's bad. It's really bad, and it's like for them to. I know how hard it is because I see these people. Like, look at Cory Barlog, the director behind the new God of War game, bawling his eyes
When
out
he read the
when he
reviews?
read the reviews.
Yeah.
When it came through, and it's like that is genuine.
Yeah.
That's genuine.
That's art.
And it's like when you see
You don't know, as a developer, I don't know, but I'm sure you don't know how it's going to be received.
Yeah.
Like whether it's going to be good or bad. So
you
I can't
believe
imagine-
it's awesome.
I can't imagine like that moment of him like before he
Yeah.
logged on to read the reviews and he was just like, oh fuck.
Well,
oh,
and
fuck,
I mean,
oh, fuck,
think-
oh fuck,
Yeah.
and then it hit him.
Sees that meta.
Think
and
about
then
it,
he
though.
just was flooded.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it though. Most of us are musicians, and like, can you like imagine, just putting out a song that all of a sudden everyone freaks out about, and you read through all these comments of like, this affected me, and just like,
Yeah.
can you imagine how blown away you would be?
Well, and to not to that same effect, but like how I've recently gotten into streaming and stuff
Right.
like that, and I haven't even hit affiliate yet. Like, I'm working my ass off to try to get there.
Right.
But I have like friends that are like, every time I go on, they're like always there, just like, oh, what's up, dude? And I'm just like, oh, shit, okay, you're here again. That's
Yeah.
cool. Like, every single time I've gotten on and done that, they're like there watching, and like, you try and go and support them too. It's just kind of like a you get what you give type of community. And like, my friend who told me to try and start getting into it, she recently hit affiliate, and she's like just set up a Twitter, like use all these hashtags, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, that's what this generation does now.
Yeah.
But I did that, and I went from like nobody following me to like I have like 120.
Yeah,
of
well, I
just,
mean,
like,
and that's the weird
small
thing is
incredibles.
like,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You have to kind of follow the rules of the current culture or just be dismissed.
And I put out a tweet where it was like, hey, I'm trying to, get some stuff going and get some clout for, streaming. I'm going to start streaming more. And I just put all these hashtags on there, and it got like, I think it was like 44 likes and like 26 retweets just from
Nice.
random people in the community. And I was like, holy fuck, dude.
That's cool, dude.
Well, and that's
really
why.
cool.
And granted, I only do it on Facebook because I don't really use Twitter, but I have one, but I don't use it. But anyway,
I'm
that's
kind of
why
the same way.
Whenever,
I have one, but I don't use it.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't use a
I'm-
personal
I'm-
one, but I use it for that.
I'm
obviously.
older. I don't. Twitter is still like it's still new enough that it's kind of foreign to me, and so I'm just like. Meh.
I personally think it's a giant cesspool.
Yeah.
I think it's
But, like,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
every
an
time-
absolute breeding ground for inarticulate thought and
for
jumping
God.
to conclusions. And I'm
But-
going to say
I
this
mean,
right
that could
now.
be said about
and-
anything, really.
On
Well,
the
yeah,
same
but
front,
I just
it's
see the
like,
worst
if
in
you're,
Twitter.
Like, with my situation, it's probably one of the best platforms.
Yeah,
to
of
course.
promote your
But like,
social
I mean,
network.
anytime you've been streaming lately, I'll always, share it and,
Yeah.
and shit like that.
And that
because
I
like
appreciate
even
immensely.
I mean, even if because with the new expansion for World of Warcraft coming out, that's like 90% of my time, and so like I'll be doing
No
that.
kidding. You're in the deep of that?
I am.
Cool. I want to hear your thoughts about that.
I have my own guild. It's
Okay.
small, but
Okay.
it's fun. I fucking love it.
Cool.
But no, like, so that eats up so much of my time. I love the new expansion.
yeah.
But yeah, we can go into that later if you want. At some
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd
But-
love to hear it.
But so I don't have a lot of time to watch streams and things like that because I'm busy trying to like grind some shit out and get to where I want to be.
Yeah.
So, but I'll always share your shit.
Another funny little story that is on the topic of gaming and whatnot. So there's this professional Overwatch player that I had recently started following, like not Seagull, but there's like Seagull obviously, and there's the whole, I got into like the whole Overwatch League, watching that, cheering for him, but before that there was this one player I was following. His name's DSP Stanky. And
Amazing. Amazing.
you'll find out why in a minute. So he's like the #1 rated like Lucio player like in the country.
No
like,
kidding.
He's professional level. He's partnered at Twitch, and I was following him or whatever. And he did this because he'd stream, but he would never have the camera, so
Yeah.
you don't know what he looks like. And he did a face reveal, and he put it on like it showed up in this Overwatch group that I was in, and I saw it, and I was like, get the fuck out of it. It's my friend that I used to work at Chick-fil-A. His name's John Stankiewicz,
No way.
and it was straight up him. I messaged him. I was like, what in the hell? Like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
And, like,
That's
I-
amazing.
we didn't,
That's so cool.
yeah, but like, holy shit, it blew my mind. I was like, I used to work with him, dude, at Chick-fil-A.
That's so cool.
That's fucking
I
awesome,
used to
dude.
give him rides home from work.
Dude, I was waiting for it to just be some really terrible, like, just weird thing, like when Rey Mysterio unmasked
Yeah.
in WCW. Like, yeah, everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Put it back on.
and then he
Put it back on.
and then he disappeared for like 6 months, and then he came
even
back with a
even when
mask.
Kane got on
It
there.
was, like, it was really bad.
Sad. I don't know, man. Like to like another a really super cool thing that's happening to me right now is so the Mega Man X collection came out pretty recently for all major consoles, you know. And me being the huge Nintendo nerd I got it for my Switch. And I took it over to my dad's house, and my little brothers are huge little video game nerds too. And they had I was like, I gotta show you this really cool game, because I'm totally in love with Mega Man X. Like, I think those games are so cool. And the original Mega Man 2. Like, if you told me to pick one, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I really couldn't. You know, and so I go over there and I'm like, hey, I think you guys are going to really like this game. And I start playing and they're like, whoa, this is so cool, you know? And it's like genuine, like, excitement. And then I found out that my youngest little brother, Dane, already has the first Mega Man collection on his Switch. And I'm like, oh my god, I have never been so proud in my life. Like, watching them, and like the next time I came over, they both had it. They both had the X collection. And they're both playing it. And Dane calls me. He doesn't really have a phone yet, so he uses my mom's. And she calls me, and you know, then I answered, and no one was there, so I kind of figured it was like a weird butt dial or something. And I tried calling back, and nobody answered, and I got a text from her, and it was like, "This is Dane. I just beat Mega Man 2," and I'm like, "Can you say that you beat Mega Man 2 at 8 years old?
Yeah.
No,
Tell me
No,
right now,
dude.
like." It's insane. It's insane to me, and they're so obsessed with these games, and I'm like, this is the coolest shit ever. Man.
And it's the same thing for me. My youngest son Adam, he's 6, and he just beat the first Knack.
No kidding.
Yeah, he just beat the first Knack, and he's like, "Dad, I beat Knack." And I'm just like,
So what about siblings? Like, do you either of you have, like, because, like, the reason I ask is I, in so many ways, am a complete and total alien when it comes to my family. Like, no one is into nerdy shit. No one is into game. Okay, because, like, I mean, no one's into music. No one's into fucking anything at all that I'm into. Like, my dad is a slight nerd, which is where, you know, like, growing
like
up,
a Trekkie or something?
Yeah, growing up, we'd watch Star Trek, we'd watch Mystery Science Theater, Star Wars. In fact, my dad was who I originally, like, you know, we would sit there and watch Young Frankenstein together.
Okay.
You know, but I was so fucking young at the time when it came out that it scared the piss out of me. Because it was black and white, there was lightning, there was thunder. I was like, this is fucking scary.
That's
and
like,
then, 5 years later, I was like, oh, actually, this is kind of funny. And then, like, 10 years later, I was like, god damn, this is dirty. You know, and so, like, I just had all these years to grow up and kind of appreciate these little nerd things. And now, you know, those are still the only things that my dad and I have in common. But again, like, none of my other siblings are into any of this. I'm such a fucking freak.
I was gonna say that's where, like, because, you know, that's what me and my dad have. Because my dad is huge into, like, baseball. Like, he plays these baseball games, like, on his computer, where he, like, does the stats and everything himself. And then, of course, he's always watching it on TV. But, like, we would watch, like, all those old spoof movies, like Airplane, Airplane 2, Blazing Saddles, like, all of those. And, like,
See, I wasn't allowed to watch Blazing Saddles. But
I really shouldn't have watched Airplane.
Dude, Airplane was the fucking oh god, I love that movie. Anyway,
so just kind of bringing it in, you know, I am very passionate about video games. That's why I want Xbox to succeed. For Xbox to succeed, you would have a more healthy video game ecosystem. It's the same thing when I was saying Nintendo. Everyone's like, oh my god, Nintendo's gonna fail. Nintendo's gonna go the way of Sega and just do software instead of hardware. You know, it's like, no, I really don't think so. Nintendo will never go away. Just to make that sure, make this abundantly clear, Nintendo will never go away.
Just when you thought they were going to for a minute, they came back with
they will never, ever. You will never play Mario or Zelda or any of these games on PlayStation or Xbox. You will never.
Yeah, they'll innovate and bring something. Like, even if, you know, one system is a miss, they're gonna come back and just smack you with something awesome.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like, I want.
Case in point, Wii U into the Switch.
Yeah, right. And that's the fun fact. The Vita actually sold more than the Wii U. Found that out the other day by I think it was about 4 million units.
Jeez.
Yeah. Which just goes to show how big of a bomb the Wii U was for a major marquee Nintendo console. But that's the thing is I don't want people to walk away from this episode thinking that I hate Xbox because it couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
I love Xbox. I love Halo. I love Gears. I love the ecosystem of Xbox. Like I said, Xbox Live is miles upon miles upon miles
Thank you.
better than anything PlayStation
I was
has
waiting.
ever put out.
I was waiting to either have that said or to say it myself.
Absolutely. And when they're like, oh, you know, like the whole PlayStation 3 having free multiplayer and people paying on Xbox, I would much rather pay for Xbox because Xbox is coherent, it's cohesive, it works. It works really, really well.
It does.
And you know, Sony has come leagues better with their PSN store, but they are still nowhere in the same, not even the same atmosphere.
Like, what was
Is-
the free games this month? There was one that would...
They need to step that up. They need
I
to.
feel like-
Xbox
well-
needs to step that shit up.
No, I'm saying Sony.
Oh, Sony.
So Sony had one that
Mafia
came out
3.
that was reminiscent of Outlast. I think it was the same people, because
Amnesia.
it's called There They Lie, I think.
I haven't heard of it.
But yeah, Mafia 3, that was like a
Mafia 3 is
big
huge.
title when it
That's
came out.
huge.
And
Yeah.
they're just like, here you go.
I paid $60 for that game. It's and I want you to walk away just thinking like, you know, Nintendo or not Nintendo, Xbox will bring it back. They really will.
They really will.
And the thing is like, what they need to do is they need to drop. They need to drop things and move on. They needed to drop the Kinect about 2 or 3 years before
Prior,
they
yeah.
actually did. And they need to drop Halo. They need to drop not really Gears. I think Gears has a very healthy future ahead of itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Halo really needs a makeover. Like, it needs to go the way of
don't-
Zelda.
I don't partially fully understand or think that they should pursue those other Gears games that they're trying to make.
Like the Pop
Like
Funko game.
that one, you can
Wait,
throw
what?
that away.
Yeah,
However,
they made
that's
it's
like
a mobile only game.
Oh, okay.
the RTS Gears game that's coming out,
The game looks
I
rad.
want to check that.
That game
out.
looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's like Halo Wars, but it's just Gears. But you know, and
And I'll
that's
be
the,
able to play them because I have a PC.
it's. I really want. I don't want people to think I'm hating on it because it couldn't
Yeah.
be further from the truth.
Well, I mean,
I love
yeah,
Xbox.
like you can totally love something and have criticism
even
about
if
its
it is just
low
my
points.
4K player.
Yeah.
it does literally nothing besides play my 4K Blu-rays. Like it, and not only that, it has a hard time doing that. Like it doesn't even output in true 4K.
Don't they also have like native 4K for like Netflix and stuff?
Yeah, but the PlayStation does too,
Oh.
and does it arguably better.
So
Yep.
I don't have a Pro yet, so
You should get on that. The Pro is such a worthy investment.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so ready to buy the Spider-Man PlayStation.
Should.
if
You
I
should.
ever get a Pro though, I'm just gonna have to have my Uncharted PS4 like on display.
Oh yeah,
I cannot
frame
get
it.
rid of that ever.
Well, I was making a joke with Angela the other day. I was like, I'm buying the Kingdom Hearts PS4.
Yeah.
Like, I'm buying that shit. It looks so good. And she's like, so we're going to have 2 Pros? And I was like, you're goddamn right.
Goddamn right.
We're going to have 2 Pros.
Yes.
I was like, I will give you this one and I can have this one. And we'll just be a pro having family.
Yeah, because I mean, like right now, I've got in my daughter's room, I've got the PS3, and then I've got my just standard PS4. So if I get the Spider-Man one, I can give her the PS4, which I mean she doesn't really give a shit about, but I'll give
But
her
I'll
the,
still fucking give it to her. I don't give a damn.
I'll give her the PS4, and then I'll just chill with my.
So
Spider-Man.
before we end, I kind of want to do this thing where it's like, hey, I want to recommend a game
Yeah.
for you to be playing.
Do it.
And right now, I am 100% enamored with this game called Dead Cells. This game
Really?
is
I've seen that.
fucking rad, dude. It's so cool.
Tell us about Dead Cells.
So, it's kind of Metroidvania-esque. But did you ever play a game called Rogue Legacy?
Yes.
So it's a roguelike. So,
Oh, okay.
so you are this person, and well, it's kind of to be debated. He's an entity, basically, shaped like a person. So you will run through these procedurally generated dungeons, essentially, and you will pick up different weapons. And there's all kinds. Like, I've been playing this game for probably about 10 hours-ish right now on my Switch. And I've come into spears, swords, great swords, bows, bombs, like grenades, and there's fire grenades, ice grenades. There's like these traps that hold people in place, and it exacerbates the damage that it's taking. Like there's tons of stuff, right? So you're going around and you're collecting cells, a la like Dark Souls, right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the level, you go into this guy and he's called the Collector, and you dump all of your souls or your cells. I'm gonna make that
Continuity
mistake a lot. You go in and you're basically putting it in towards new equipment, and you can also find new like blueprints, right? And they're super rare. So, anyways, this game it's super cheap. I think it's only $20 on pretty much everything. You can get it on Switch, Xbox, PS4, PC. It actually was an early access on PC game for a long time.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's procedurally generated, so it never gets stale, in my opinion. The gameplay is like airtight. It's so much fun to control this little dude, and all of the weapons feel good. Like none of them. I've never picked up a weapon in this game and been like, I can't do anything with this thing.
Feels so good.
Yeah, just like that.
Jokes. That reminds me of another one that I was going to bring up. It's also on the Switch and PC. It's called, I think, Wizard of Legend. And that's a really fun.
It's kind
of roguelike-ish. It's also procedurally generated. You can play with 2 people, I think, at once, and you just run through these dungeons, and you have to unlock certain parts, and then there's a boss that you have to fight. But it's like in the Souls sense, where if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. But it's like 8-bit like graphics and whatnot.
Yeah. That's what Dead Cells is.
Yeah.
And Dead Cells, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like if you die, you lose everything. You lose all your weapons. You lose all your cells. And that's what's really cool about it is you do have like permanent upgrades. Like some of them, like there's like a wall jump move and all kinds of stuff. I won't spoil a ton of it, but yeah, it's super rad. If you're a fan of Hollow Knight, which you should definitely play that game.
Yes,
Hollow Knight is
I've been playing that too.
That game is really cool. And then what else? What was that other one?
Speaking of hard as hell indie games.
Yeah.
Speaking of hard as hell, feel these nipples!
Hollow Knight? Yeah, Hollow Knight is brutally difficult.
Yeah.
That game is so hard, dude. I've put probably 13-ish hours into that one, and all these games are so at home on the Switch. Dude, you need to get a Switch. The Switch is so cool.
I need one so bad. I want one.
It's such a versatile console, and all of these like super cool games are coming. And when Smash comes, we are throwing down, dude. Yeah. Smash is going to be so cool this year.
So did you know that World of Warcraft for the last several expansions has had basically like a Pokemon sort of aspect to it? Like you can get battle pets.
I hate to admit this, but I.
I mean, that's not anything that you should be embarrassed or like. That's not.
I played it. I played the starter edition a long time ago, where you could go up to like level 15 or whatever it was, level 20. And I stopped playing because I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to pay to play this because I wasn't playing with anyone. And then I kept getting emails from Blizzard,
like
saying that. You're trying to sell your character, and this is illegal. And I'm
so basically somebody fucking hacked your shit.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try and sell my level 14 elf to somebody. Like, who's going to want it,
Yeah.
So, rapid fire, I want to know everyone's most anticipated game. Right now, like, not necessarily of the year, but like the next one that's coming out.
For me, Spider-Man. I'm such a mark for Spider-Man. I always have been. I mean, like,
he's like one of the only Marvel characters that I like actually give a shit about.
Because here's the thing, I mean, since being a child, like that's a character anyone can connect with because like he's a nerd, he's a teenager, he has acne, he has girl problems. Like he's not a Thor, he's not a Captain America, he's not some Boy Scout, he's not Superman, he's not some monument to perfection.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he's just a random dude
that got caught up in a crazy situation.
And so he's 1000% relatable. And so I've always been into him, but I mean even beyond that, this game just looks fucking incredible.
Awesome. Eddie, go.
Fallout 76, man. I am a mark for Bethesda. Anything Bethesda's ever put out, I've had my hands on and I've never disliked. And Fallout is actually probably my favorite game of all time. Like just the Fallout games, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, all of the DLC for every single one of them. That's me.
What about Doom? You played Doom?
I have played Doom.
Doom has. I'm listening to that soundtrack right now, like just kind of
so
like
good.
driving
It's so
in my
good.
car. That shit pounds.
It's
It's
so
so good, dude. Like that game is like half as good as that soundtrack, and that game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I have not.
It's on sale like every other day. Pick
Yeah.
that shit up. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm getting that game on my Switch
Yeah.
because I just
Very
want to play it.
reminiscent of old Doom.
Absolutely. And the soundtrack is just like
It's not like
Just-
oh man, this isn't like old Doom. I don't like. It's like
Yeah.
it's exactly.
they
like
literally have a mod where you can play it in.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in like straight ahead. So
No,
What?
no shit, no shit. It's
Oh
a real,
my God.
It's DLC,
That's amazing.
dude. That game is awesome. That
That's
game.
really
I find
cool.
myself going more and more. Like I love Fallout. I'll always love Fallout, and I kind of have like this strange love with the Elder Scrolls. Like I don't really like it, but I understand why people love it.
yeah.
I'm more and more going towards their other stuff, like
Yeah.
Doom and Wolfenstein, and
Rage.
Dishonored, and
Doom
Rage.
Eternal.
Like, Doom Eternal. Holy shit, dude! That game is going
He just got possessed when I brought it up.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's the power this game has. It's awesome.
Oh shit.
Nick,
I gotta say, I've been trying to decide either between Smash Ultimate or Red Dead 2. Like
Both very fucking.
I mean,
Smash in the
I am
aspect.
Oh, those games are gonna
super.
be
Smash in the aspect that I have been. I know me among others have just been saying the Switch is out. When do we get Smash?
Yeah.
Like that's all people were. And then here it is, December 8th, I think.
what do you think about the new characters? Castlevania,
Oh.
Simon, and what's the other guy? Simon Belmont from the original
Yeah.
Castlevania, and Richter. I think his name's Richter. It's his Echo fighter. So he fights just
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
like Simon. He just has like his own like kind of twists on things. What about like Ridley? What do you think about Ridley?
Oh, I think.
Feeling hot on Ridley?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think just the whole there's like 60 characters that are going to be in this.
Yeah,
game when it
they're
comes
above
out.
70 right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so I was even.
They
off
just
by
hit
10,
70, I think.
But like
Dark
my
Samus
God.
and Chrome and all those guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I was hyped. I was hyped when Crom came on because I was like, that's a Fire Emblem character that like they never gave us, and I'm like, this is the character that people actually give a shit about. Please give us Crom, and they finally did. So, no Waluigi. I'm sorry, you're never going to be in Smash
Nope.
ever. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
He's just awkward.
It's stupid. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's funny because it's a meme.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, in this last direct, Sakurai had purple and yellow chairs behind him, and everyone was losing their collective minds. They were like, oh, subtle hint, Waluigi and Smash. It's like, oh my god, you guys. He's like, he's got a little yellow L on his hands, and that is the only yellow. Like, you're really gonna just grow up. Get a life. Waluigi is the most piss poor character ever.
Cole, what about you?
I'm gonna break the mold.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah.
I am I'm cheating. I have two. Dragon Quest XI. I am so incredibly excited for that game. The last time we got a Dragon Quest game, I believe, was 8, or no, it was 8 or 9. It was one of the two.
What about
That was 8
wasn't
years
there
ago.
Was there a Dragon Quest Builders?
They had the community's been pretty alive with that. They have
Like, I
Dragon
know
Quest
it wasn't
Builders,
a legit Dragon Quest.
and then they also have that Musou game, Dragon Quest Heroes.
Yeah, okay.
So there's both those games. You know, they're both very well alive. But the thing is like they didn't need to bring 11 to the North Shores. Like they didn't have to at all. It made plenty of money in Japan, but they're going the extra mile. They're localizing it. They're not adding anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm like I stated clearly in the episode, early in the episode, I'm a huge fan of Toriyama's work, and Dragon Quest XI is just huge. It's huge for me right now, and I have the collector's edition on the way. So, so pumped. And Mega Man 11, we're getting a new Mega Man game, guys.
Yeah, that's
and I
crazy.
cannot tell you.
Brand new.
I cannot tell you how excited I am and how happy I am to say that is actually happening. The only thing that can make me happier is if they're actually making another Mega Man X. But I will take a normal Mega Man game. I'm so excited.
All about
Is
it.
Wayne Brady gonna have to smack a bitch?
Another news front that I just got a notification on from YouTube. New It's Always Sunny season on September 5th.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
it's happening like now.
Hell yeah.
And I'm fucking ecstatic for that.
Hell yeah.
So you'll hear more of me.
Yeah. Charlie Day is our guest tonight, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
So, thank you for tuning in to Season 2, Episode 2, Xbox None, a.k.a. Meet the Gang. I feel like this whole episode with all its tangents and everything that we've been doing, it was needed. Just so you could see who we are as people.
Exactly.
So we want to thank you. This is probably our longest running episode to date.
I think it was just fun. It was fun to talk about all this shit.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you guys like it.
Yeah, and we'll give you more, and if you don't like it, we'll still give you more because
I would love to get feedback. I would love to hear people's opinions. Like, if you think I'm dead ass wrong about this Xbox, tell me.
Yeah,
please.
if you want to call him a piece of shit about it, please
Go
do.
for it.
I mean, he is kind of a piece of shit.
I do stink.
Yeah.
I do stink.
Question of the week: what is your favorite X-Man from the animated series? We'll be putting the question up on Facebook, giving the answers out here live. So, as always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation.
Twitter and Instagram at NerdCorp Podcast.
Email us at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And for those of you just looking to shoot the shit with the gang, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/nerdcore podcast. Several tiers of loot to be had, from ringtones and giveaways to shout-outs and bonus episodes. We'd like to apologize to Hideo Kojima for not having you today. Maybe you can tell us a little more about that drama. Once again,
Love it.
For the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Derek Reese.
I'm Cole Simper.
And I'm Nick Lewis.
Tune in next time to find out if we'll ever get Cole to lower his voice. Thanks again, guys. Y'all have a good one.